Hello, 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 YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome back. I decided to do a quick live again with Jay Mizak.
Yeah, what
Real,
up?
real.
What up?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Make sure y'all come in quietly. Make sure y'all smash that like, share this video, and
Yeah.
let's spot out the people who lie on Jag all the time.
Want to recant their story.
Yes, they want to. Yes, listen, it's a whole lot of stuff I hear that's going on, and I don't understand why people can't see the truth when it's standing right there in their face. But we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this real quick. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. Hello, 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 Mojiji. How you doing? Nice seeing you. Thank you for being here with us today. Well, we were live earlier. I hope you could go back and catch that replay if you haven't already caught it. But thank you again for being here. Hello, how you doing, love? Nice to see you. Nice to see you again, too, love. Yes, we're back. We're back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome in. So after our live we just did not too long ago, Jay came across this video and he's like, "Hey, let's go live again. Let's put this out there and show the people how these people do." So I'm not going to talk too much. Let's just get right into it. And this is not going to be a long live either. I'll be with y'all, some other day long. But right now, we're just going to do these quick lives. We just going to get the information up out of there. Okay?
Right.
So this is Beyonce's drummer. As we all know, some years ago, she made claims alleging that Beyonce was basically doing witchcraft on her and basically setting her up, right? Right, Jay?
Yeah. She said she was doing all types of witchcraft.
Had a whole lot of accusations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That. All
So
of
this is from Premium Celeb page. The link is in the description if y'all want to go through their catalog to see what else y'all can discover. But for now, fair use. Let's get into this commentary. And I'm going to skip it up just a little bit. All right, let's go.
Killed my cat because, okay, so you, Miss Jaguar, who I don't know at all, this is what brings me back to you, Miss Wright. You said you and Terry Lynn Carrington are really good friends.
By my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington.
She went and killed the girl cats, which is a lie. The Pet Society killed my cat because that's just the thing. They were all in shape shifting and role playing matrixy type of reptilian type of thing, So they're on that. And Beyonce didn't want to meet her then. Beyonce's been very mean to me and my family and to my friends and to my community. I mean to be rude, but who are you, Jaguar? You also got into the Illuminati occult. And everybody who goes there, yeah, they got to go through something. You're like spilling all the secrets and, stuff about all these people just to do it. You don't join something and then go tell everything that's there. Like if I had to do that, I'd have to be on trial.
Watch video. No, a lot of.
Okay, so wait. Wasn't she the drummer? So I'm pretty sure she had to sign a NDA also, right?
Yeah, my bad. I was muted.
You're good.
I'm glad you paused it right there.
Uh-huh.
What was she referring to? when she said that you don't join something and then
Right. You
start
don't
telling
join
everything.
something and,
Well,
not get a pass, right?
right. She's trying to say you ain't supposed to leave. You're supposed to stay in the community.
Samo Gigi say, yep,
Like,
I remember that from the drummer.
yeah.
The person I don't know already stated, already started good. I'm not understanding what you mean right there. If you could elaborate a little bit more, already starts good. Okay. It's just strange to me. Let me take that back just a little bit right here.
I had to do that. I'd have to be on trial.
What's good, y'all? No, a lot of things that this person who is alleged to be Beyonce ex-drummer is saying about Jaguar Wright, a lot of these things Jaguar Wright already stated before. Now, I get to understand that a lot of people are only going off clips of what they see of Jaguar Wright, but a lot of things that she's saying, Jaguar Wright already cleared it up. Like, for example, she's saying that Jaguar Wright is also into those rituals and those stuff, and Jaguar Wright made it clear that she was
Exactly.
a part of it, right? But she decided to speak out. Just like when she stated that she was on a Diddy tape, she was in that lifestyle, but she decided to speak up.
She never claimed she was on a Diddy tape. I don't know where he got that from.
But yeah, he slid that in.
Okay. Yeah, he slid that shit in real quick.
I didn't even
But
book
okay.
it the first time. Right.
Oh, so I want you guys to know that these things are not news, right? I stated a lot of people are really just going off clips that they see, but they don't really know the full story because they don't really watch the full interview. So these things are not news. A lot of people are saying that, she was paid off to say this. A lot of people are saying that it seems as if she's reading off a script and blah, blah, blah. But I want you guys to know this. It doesn't matter what she's doing. What she's basically saying, Jaguar, I said it before. So I just really want you guys to know that. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, show some love.
Okay.
Drop a like and subscribe, show some love. Now, speaking of Jaguar Wright, I want you guys to check out this and let me know what you think.
Okay, this is for everyone in the comments who's saying, well, why isn't Jay-Z and Beyonce threatening to sue Jaguar Wright? Jaguar Wright probably is what people...
If they want to see it, they can go to his page, right? And watch the rest of that.
Yes, they could go to his page and watch the rest of it. Hey, everyone coming in. I appreciate y'all being here. Okay, love. You were quoting. Okay. I appreciate everyone for being here. If y'all could tap that like, share this video out, and comment. I love to see y'all comments. I love to hear y'all opinion. But yeah, for her to make claims that she didn't say that and that she don't know Jaguar is kind of crazy, because let's take it back to this article right here. You have something to say before we go to the article?
No, we good.
All right, let's take it to this article. And also, too, the link to his channel is in the description. If you guys would like to go see the rest of the video, y'all could tap in and tap that link. But this is the article that was published September 20th, 2018. Beyonce's ex-drummer files for restraining order alleging extreme witchcraft. Kimberly Thompson reportedly claimed that she suffered from Beyonce's magic spells of SM. I don't know how they say it on this, but I'm just going to say SM. And that Beyonce's murdered my pet kitten. She said she murdered my pet kitten. She made claims of that, and she looked like she'll kill a cat.
That's misconduct right there. Saying, Emma.
Unalive. We're going to say that. It's so many terms, so many words that I got to get used to being on these YouTube streets so that I can make sure that I'm using the proper terminology, I guess. Yes, thank you, love. I had to correct myself, but thank you. Yeah, but let's continue. Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer, has filed for a civil harassment restraining order against Beyonce. The blast reports and court records viewed by Pitchfork confirms, according to documents obtained by the blast, Thompson alleged that Beyonce is practicing extreme witchcraft and magic spells of SM to harass her. Amongst other allegations. Thompson also claimed that Beyonce murdered my pet kitten. That's in quote. That's in quote. Records view Records viewed by Pitchfork shows that Thompson had a request for a temporary restraining order detained by the Los Angeles Superior Court on September 19. I'm assuming 2018. Maybe. I don't know. I will have to go dig deeper and see that. There is currently a restraining order hearing scheduled for October 11th. In an email to Pitchfork, Thompson confirmed that acquire of the documents posed by the blast, all accusations I survived are real, she wrote. I don't get that, but okay. Pitchfork has contact representatives for Beyonce. So who's Pitchfork? Was he like a lawyer or something, maybe?
I think that's like a news.
A news?
Okay. Type, yeah.
Along with her work with Beyonce, Kimberly Thompson also played drums in the Fred Orangeman-led house band for the first season of Late Night with Seth Meyers. This article was originally published on Thursday, September 20th at 4:57 p.m. Eastern. It was last updated Friday, September 21st at 10:45 a.m. Eastern. So that's basically it. But right here, we all see the quote, murdered my pet kitten. So why would she say, why would she redact her words? Why would she take back her claims of even saying she said
what
that?
What she say? The national or the pet? What she say? Took unalived her cat?
She said the what is the Pet Society? The Pet
Society.
Hey, let's take that back. Let's take it back. What did she say?
She didn't say not the vet, because you know when you take your pet to the vet, you could put it down and shit. She said the Pet Society. I don't know what that is.
The Pet Society killed her. So who the hell is a pet? Who is involved in a Pet Society? That's what I want to know. Who is involved? Because you clearly said in this article right here that Beyonce murdered or unalive your kitten, ma'am.
Yeah, and we had the video. You had the next video?
Yes. Oh, we're going to get into this, and we about to get into this. Shout out to Daily Mail TV. All right, let's get into this little 2-minute clip.
Bewitching Beyonce. Did Queen Bee practice witchcraft on one of her musicians? In this Daily Mail TV exclusive, the drummer who claims she was put under Beyonce's spell is
fair use, and this is excuse me, this is 6 years ago. So 6 years ago from whenever she did that last video. Oh, and the restraining order has been dismissed since then. So right here it says, Beyonce former drummer speaks out, accused the singer of witchcraft, and even claims she killed her kitten. Okay.
Now speaking out.
The fact that people keep saying, I'm crazy? Hell, the situations I had to deal with and survive are crazy.
Kimberly Thompson says she is tormented from being put under manic sexual spells by Beyonce.
We're talking about other situations where changing into animals and jumping into other bodies and all kinds of really crazy stuff.
In bizarre court papers, Thompson claims Beyonce, who she refers to as this person, has started a campaign of harassment against her that includes extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of sexual molestation. She also claims Beyonce murdered her kitten after the singer put a spell on it.
They were like, the cat has a spell on it. The cat was taken back to her people,
It's unclear why Thompson is.
So she said the cat was taken back to Beyonce's people. And then after that, the cat was no more.
Speaking out now, even though she says Beyonce has been at it since 2006.
She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress. She's just been a savage.
Senior correspondent Tara Burney joins us now. And Tara, these claims are bizarre.
Really strange.
Has Beyonce responded at all to these?
Jesse, Beyonce's a little busy. She's on tour with Jay-Z.
They laugh. Did you hear that shit?
Responded at all to these?
Jesse, Beyonce's a little busy. She's on tour with Jay-Z. They're finishing up in LA, so they have not responded. And as far as Thompson, her request for a temporary restraining order was denied by a judge, most likely because of the nonsensical rantings about witchcraft. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
How often judges have to rule on something like this, as bizarre as this. What were Thompson's other claims here?
There's a lot of them. First, that Beyonce stole money from her. She had her stalked. She had her bullied. Thompson said she had to move several different times to different cities because she was casting spells on her work and her relationships, and she couldn't hold down a job, and she couldn't find a boyfriend.
Okay, I'm going to go on a limb here and say there will be no legal repercussion.
And it's wild, though, because for her to sit up there and redact her claims about what happened years ago to her and still happening to this day, it's not hard to believe, because I believe Jag is going through what she's going through because of her ties to the industry and everything that she has going on. Yeah. And even though we don't see Jay-Z doing it, he has these other people who are these super fans come in and do their part, and do their work. And it's so many ties. There's so many ties to the industry. It's like, you can't see the shit happening to her. Maybe they use it for a ritual. Maybe they did. Maybe they, listen. Maybe they did.
They don't want to see it. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, it's deep. It's deep what these celebrities do. And then for them to just laugh it off like, oh, Beyonce and Jay-Z is on tour, they ain't got time to respond. It's like, huh?
Right. That was cold. Laughing at the girl's pain.
Yeah, and they do. They turn everything into a joke. Yeah, that's what's crazy about it.
Some wild-ish, yo.
Say it again?
That's some wild-ish.
Listen, it is wild out here. Let me stop sharing this for a moment. Let me get over here. Okay, let's see. I mean, so much.
Right.
All right, let's see.
What's good, Jennifer?
Say it again.
Now I see Jenny in the chat.
Hello, peace, love. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for being here. I'm going to do this. That's one thing they don't want. They don't want her exposing shit, because you know why? They want to keep their fans in the dark. Yeah. But shout out to Celebrity Life. Let's see what this. Beyonce warns Jaguar Wright for exposing her dark secret. Sacrifice her own family. All right.
I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Jaguar Wright, the fearless exposer of the music industry's darkest secrets, has now zeroed in on none other than Queen Bey herself, Beyonce. And here's where it gets explosive. Beyonce has reportedly slammed a stern warning down on Jaguar, sparking wild rumors that this drama is far more than just tabloid gossip. We're talking dark sacrifices, secretive deals, and even ties to Diddy's shadowy empire. This isn't just another story. It's a full-blown conspiracy waiting to be unraveled. How much of this is true, and why has this got the internet buzzing? Don't move an inch. This promises to be one heck of a ride.
If we get to the bottom of Tupac's, when that is finally revealed, 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that they were all committed by the same two people.
Beyonce, Jaguar Wright, and the music industry's darkest secrets. What's really going on? Jaguar Wright has never been one to hold back. The outspoken singer and industry insider has made it her mission to expose what she claims are the deep, dark secrets of the music world. Over the years, she's taken aim at some of the most powerful figures in the industry, from Diddy to Jay-Z. And now she's set her sights on the queen herself, Beyonce. But this isn't just another celebrity feud. If the rumors are to be believed, Beyonce's rise to superstardom wasn't just about talent, hard work, and carefully crafted branding. According to Jaguar, there's a much darker story lurking beneath the surface. And here's where things take a chilling turn. The allegations that have everyone talking.
About what's going on. Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything, just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Rumors have been swirling for years that Beyonce's success was not entirely organic. Jaguar Wright has now thrown fuel on that fire, claiming that Beyonce and her family, especially her father, Matthew Knowles, were involved in secret rituals to ensure her career reached the stratosphere. Sacrifices, witchcraft, industry power plays. These are the allegations being whispered in dark corners of the internet and music industry circles. Of course, these claims are shocking, but Jaguar Wright insists they aren't baseless. She has a history of making explosive claims.
Wait, hold on, I just caught something. Didn't we just read that pitchfork, the name? Yeah? Look at her earrings. What they look like.
Oh, shit.
Right? That's wild.
These are the allegations being whispered in dark corners of the internet and music industry circles. Of course, these claims are shocking, but Jaguar Wright insists they aren't baseless. She has a history of making explosive claims that, over time, have eerily turned out to have some truth to them. According to Wright, Beyonce's Queen Bey image is nothing more than a carefully constructed facade, a smokescreen for something much more sinister. And the moment Jaguar started to shine a light on this, Beyonce reportedly issued a stern warning. Beyonce has always been fiercely private. Unlike other celebrities, she rarely engages in social media drama or responds to controversy. But lately, fans have noticed something unusual. Her social media following has been taking a hit. Reports suggest that Beyonce has been losing hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers. Is it just a coincidence? Or is the public finally waking up to something bigger? Despite the swirling allegations, Beyonce has chosen to stay silent, living what seems to be a picture-perfect life in Paris. But silence doesn't always mean innocence. It could also be a strategic move. Could it be that Beyonce has been advised to stay quiet to avoid drawing more attention to these accusations?
Maybe.
Or is she simply unbothered by the rumors? According to sources, Beyonce has taken legal steps behind the scenes.
Yeah, she probably
Some insiders claim she may have issued cease and desist letters to those spreading the rumors. If true, it wouldn't be the first time a powerful celebrity used legal muscle to silence critics. Diddy, Jay-Z, and the bigger picture. But Beyonce isn't the only one in Jaguar Wright's crosshairs. She's also calling out Jay-Z and Diddy, two men who have long been rumored to hold an iron grip over the music industry. Diddy, in particular, is currently facing a storm of allegations. Lawsuits accuse him of running a criminal enterprise involving sex trafficking, racketeering, kidnapping, bribery, and forced labor. His empire is crumbling before our eyes. And here's where things get even murkier.
Forced labor.
Jaguar Wright has suggested that Diddy and Jay-Z weren't just business associates, but key players in a much larger network of control and manipulation in the music world. The claim? That Beyonce's success is deeply tied to this network. Rumor has it that Diddy played a major role in introducing Beyonce to Jay-Z. Some reports suggest that this wasn't just a casual introduction. It was a calculated move. According to Wright, deals were made, power was exchanged, and Beyonce's career was carefully shaped behind closed doors. This raises a serious question. If the allegations against Diddy are true, how deep does the connection go? And if Jay-Z and Beyonce were part of the same circle, what does that say about them? With all of these claims making waves, one thing is certain. The industry's biggest players are being forced into the spotlight like never before. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy have long been seen as untouchable, figures at the very top of the music world. But as the walls start to close in on Diddy and Jaguar Wright refuses to be silenced, the cracks in their carefully curated images are beginning to show. Will Beyonce finally break her silence and address these allegations? Or will she continue to let her legal team handle the situation from behind the scenes? And what about Jaguar Wright? With each passing day, her claims gain more traction. Is she a truth teller exposing the dark underbelly of the industry? Or is this just another attempt to stir up controversy? One thing's for sure, this is far from over. The power players, the deals, and the dark side of the industry. The music industry.
Let's pause it there. How you feel about that?
That's a lot. It's a lot.
Very, 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 very telling. That's a good question. Where is the beehive now? It's a very, very telling situation for her, for them to be. I mean, what I guess that's expected of them to walk around like nothing is going on. You know?
Yeah.
Because they have those NDAs. And so that's the best way, I guess, to keep them safe is to just act like nothing is going on. And all these things that's being said about them is not true, you know? And it could mean either, like you said, she's either nonchalant about it, or she don't care, or she's just hiding from the truth, you know? Hiding from the truth.
I think she gotta care. People talking shit about you, but she probably don't care, but she feels a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's still human, I would hope. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You know?
Still a human. Yeah. All these clones going around.
Right. And I agree, Jennifer, I agree. Because I can only imagine what they have done, you know? Even like it was one interview I seen. Who was that? Oh, my daughter was showing me, what was it? It was something like the smartest kid, or I guess he went to the president's house or whatever. He got a chance to go to the president's house. And Beyonce interviewed him, the little boy. And she was like, just give me a kiss right here. Just give me a kiss. And the little boy was like, and then he got up and gave her a kiss on the cheek because it was Beyonce. And I'm like, that's kind of strange. Like, where's the parents at? Parents!
Like some Diana Ross and Mike Jack type Bob.
Yeah, it's wild. But let's get back to this.
History has always been shrouded in mystery. But in recent years, more and more people are starting to question just how deep the rabbit hole goes. With Jaguar Wright leading the charge, new allegations are surfacing that suggest a hidden web of power, control, and manipulation. One that allegedly ties together some of the biggest names in entertainment. At the center of it all, Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. For years, these three have been hailed as music industry royalty, shaping careers, setting trends, and amassing fortunes. But according to Jaguar Wright and other industry insiders, their success didn't come without a cost, and that cost may have been paid by those around them. Rumor has it that Diddy played a much bigger role in Beyonce's rise to fame than most people realize. According to some sources, he was the one who introduced her to Jay-Z, setting in motion one of the most powerful partnerships in entertainment history. But Jaguar Wright suggests that their connection wasn't purely professional. Instead, she hints at something much darker: manipulation, exploitation, and behind-the-scenes dealings that may have helped shape Beyonce's career in ways the public never knew. And here's where things get even murkier. Diddy is currently facing multiple lawsuits, with allegations ranging from sexual assault to human trafficking. Some insiders believe that his influence over the industry went beyond just signing artists and throwing lavish parties. They suggest that he used his power to control not just careers, but people's lives. If these allegations are true, it raises a disturbing question. How many of the artists who worked with Diddy over the years were caught up in something far bigger than they realized? And if he had such a strong connection to Beyonce and Jay-Z, how much did they know? The strange case of Beyonce and witchcraft allegations. It sounds like something out of a horror movie, but allegations of witchcraft have followed Beyonce for years. Back in 2018, a former drummer of Beyonce's followed Beyonce for...
Right here, this is it right here. She was like, just give me a kiss. And look, what a good little boy. But he's older now. He's older now, and even he went through some changes in his life. You know, you wouldn't even know that if you saw the man now, you wouldn't even know that was him as a child unless he told you. You feel me? Like, so yeah.
For years. Back in 2018, a former drummer of Beyonce's, Kimberly Thompson, filed for a restraining order against the singer, claiming that Beyonce had used extreme witchcraft to control her, sabotage her career, and even kill her cat. The claims were widely dismissed as bizarre, but Jaguar Wright is now bringing them back into the spotlight, suggesting that there may be more to the story. According to Wright, Beyonce's rise to superstardom wasn't just about talent and hard work, it allegedly involved sacrifices. She hints that Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, may have played a key role in securing his daughter's success through means that the public knows nothing about. It's a wild claim, but here's what's even stranger. The court denied Kimberly Thompson's request for a restraining order. Instead of taking her allegations seriously, they reportedly told her to simply stay away from Beyonce and work for someone else. And now, Thompson is struggling to find work, despite being a talented musician who was handpicked by legendary jazz drummer Terry Lyne Carrington.
Okay.
Jay-Z and Rihanna. A questionable relationship?
So Jag was saying that Terry is a good friend of Jag. She was saying that this is a good friend of hers. And the lady basically like dismissed it. What's her name? What's the drummer name?
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Kimberly Thompson or something.
Kimberly. Okay, yeah. So, you know what? I'm sick of hearing the name Kim. Okay, but anyways,
Thank you.
yeah. But besides that, listen. But I get it now. I see, and this is why I fuck with Jag, because I may not know everything she knows, but I sit and I listen and I hear what she says. And when you go back and you do your research and you look through all these interviews and you hear exactly what she's saying. They're telling you what happened.
Right.
Telling you what happened. But they get mad when she said it because they know it's the truth. And they act like nobody heard it. They act like nobody heard it, you know?
Yeah, but when somebody that was on the inside says it, it gives it more validation.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why they don't want, that is people on it. Dots are connecting.
The dots are, they are connecting. I mean, it always connects. It's a whole lot of things.
Jay-Z and Rihanna. A questionable relationship?
There are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen?
Then there's Jay-Z.
And then they laugh about that shit. Like,
and they laughed about it.
You know what? I used to go to like sets like that when I was in high school, and they give you cues when to clap, when to laugh, when to boo, when to awe, when to do all this stuff. So that's all a setup. Going to these news places and these TV shows, quote unquote, because why would they laugh? What? That's not funny.
Yeah, that's not funny.
He's telling this young lady that he's gonna throw her out the window if she don't sign a contract, or she walk out the front door. Like,
if that was Wendy's crowd, they would have been like, ah.
man, Wendy would have said it on. She would have said it off for him. You know.
You would have went off. That was back in her day.
One more time for the record.
Through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So through the door.
Ian Rihanna.
A
questionable relationship?
There are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen?
Then there's Jay-Z.
Nick and Tyra. So she was like, where's Ben?
Most people see him as a hip-hop mogul, a business genius, and Beyonce's supportive husband. But rumors about his past dealings, particularly with Rihanna, have persisted for years. Back in the early 2000s, Jay-Z signed Rihanna to Def Jam when she was just 16 years old. While he's credited with launching her career, some insiders have described their relationship as concerning. One of the most chilling moments resurfaced in a podcast discussion, where an old interview clip of Rihanna was played. In the clip, Rihanna described meeting Jay-Z for the first time, admitting that she was nervous and shaking when she walked into his office. And then came the unsettling part. Rihanna recalled that Jay-Z told her, "There are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 20th floor." The audience in the interview looked visibly uncomfortable. Some laughed nervously, but the underlying message was clear. This wasn't just a joke. A 15-year-old girl had been flown to a foreign country, brought into a grown man's office alone, and told she had no choice but to sign a deal. What makes it even more disturbing is that Rihanna's father wasn't present when she met with Jay-Z. He only arrived the next day to collect the check. While Rihanna has never publicly accused Jay-Z of any wrongdoing, many have noticed that she has distanced herself from him in recent years. She's built her own empire with Fenty, and her ties to Roc Nation seem weaker than ever. Could this be a sign that she wanted to break free from whatever influence Jay-Z had over her? Jaguar Wright's claim suggests that Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy aren't just successful artists and entrepreneurs. They're allegedly part of a much larger network of power and control. If the allegations against Diddy are true, and if he was indeed connected to Beyonce and Jay-Z from the start, it raises a troubling question. How many other artists have been manipulated in the same way? And if Beyonce really did issue a warning to Jaguar Wright, what exactly is she trying to protect? With Diddy's legal troubles mounting and more people speaking out about the dark side of the industry, this story is far from over. Will more artists come forward with their own experiences? Will Beyonce, Jay-Z, or Diddy address these allegations head-on? Or will the industry continue to silence those who dare to expose the truth? One thing is certain, there's more to this story than meets the eye. Beyonce's warning and the power struggle behind the scenes. Something big is brewing in the music industry, and the latest whisper suggests that Beyonce isn't just sitting back while Jaguar Wright continues to spill secrets. According to sources, Beyonce has reportedly issued a stern warning to Jaguar, but the exact nature of this warning remains a mystery. Is it a legal move? A cease and desist letter meant to silence Jaguar? Or is it something more subtle, something behind the scenes? One particular account, now mysteriously scrubbed from the internet, adds another layer to this puzzle. A woman once claimed that while dancing at a club, she sat on Beyonce's lap, and Queen Bey allegedly whispered something chilling in her ear. Don't start something you can't finish. If true, that's a bold statement from someone known for keeping her personal life under wraps. And it begs the question.
She said, don't start something you cannot finish, okay?
Finish now.
Wait. Gosh. Where is this girl at? Where is she at?
Right.
Where the fuck is she at? Okay. Look, did she have to sign an NDA for that comment? She couldn't tell nobody. She had to keep her identity safe. God,
I never heard that before.
I ain't never heard that either. One more time.
Statement from someone known for keeping her personal life under wraps. And it begs the question, what exactly is Beyonce trying to prevent? Start something on Beyonce's lap. This puzzle. A woman once claimed that while dancing at a club, she sat on Beyonce's lap, and Queen Bey allegedly whispered something chilling in her ear. Don't start something you can't finish. If true, that's a bold statement from someone known for keeping her personal life under wraps. And it begs the question, what exactly is Beyonce trying to prevent? Jaguar Wright isn't backing down. If Beyonce thought a warning would make Jaguar Wright back off, she might have underestimated her. Jaguar has built a reputation as someone who won't be silenced, no matter how powerful her targets are. In a recent interview, Jaguar doubled down, saying, "They can try to silence me, but the truth will come out." And this isn't just talk. She's already taken aim at Diddy, Jay-Z, and now Beyonce, revealing what she claims are the hidden power moves that shape the careers of some of the biggest names in music. Beyonce and the Sean Paul controversy. Rumors about Beyonce's personal life have circulated for years. And
say it again.
That ain't got nothing to do with Jag though.
No, it doesn't. But it's a whole lot that they're doing out here to these other celebrities and things that's tied in. Like all of this shit connects. Yeah. It's the power that they hold that they're trying to silence these other celebrities, these other artists. You know.
Yeah.
But it's just wild. But let's listen.
One of the most persistent involves her alleged relationship with dancehall superstar Sean Paul. Back in 2003, their hit collaboration, Baby Boy, topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 9 weeks. But something strange happened. They barely performed it together. According to insiders, Beyonce was allegedly afraid that people would pick up on her rumored affair with Sean Paul. Sean himself has hinted at this, once saying in an interview that he wished their relationship had developed further, because they had a deep connection. While there's no solid proof of a romance, the fact that their performances together were mysteriously limited, even as their song dominated the charts, has fueled speculation for years. Diddy's alleged role in Beyonce's rise. Jaguar Wright has long suggested that Beyonce's career was carefully engineered, and she claims Diddy played a key role in that process. Diddy has been a central figure in the music industry for decades, but now he's facing a major reckoning. Allegations against him include everything from human trafficking to racketeering, and his once unshakable empire is beginning to crumble. But what does this have to do with Beyonce? According to sources, Diddy allegedly introduced Beyonce to Jay-Z at a party in the late 90s. On the surface, this might seem like a harmless industry connection, but Jaguar suggests otherwise. She has hinted that this was not just a casual introduction, it was a deal. And like all deals in the music industry, it supposedly came with strings attached. Jay-Z's alleged pattern of betrayal. Jaguar Wright has also called out Jay-Z for a pattern of betrayal, suggesting that he has a history of using people to get ahead before discarding them. She pointed to his past with D-Haven, a childhood friend who was instrumental in Jay-Z's early years, but was later cut off. Then there's Big L, a talented rapper who was mysteriously murdered before he could reach mainstream success. Jaguar suggests that Jay-Z absorbed his style and ran with it. And then there's Dame Dash, the co-founder of Rockefeller Records, and one of Jay-Z's closest allies in the early 2000s. Once they built an empire together, Jay-Z allegedly turned on him, taking full control of their business and leaving Dame in the dust. Jaguar has even gone as far as to say that Jay-Z stole his life and identity. If this is a pattern, it raises an important question. Was Beyonce's rise to fame part of the same blueprint? Is Jay-Z setting up Diddy?
Is he?
Now here's where things take a shocking turn. With Diddy facing serious legal trouble, some insiders believe Jay-Z is quietly distancing himself, and possibly even helping to take Diddy down. Jaguar Wright has suggested that Jay-Z is doing exactly what he's done before, aligning himself with powerful people, using them to rise even higher, and then stepping away when the time is right. She even claims that Diddy once had complete confidence in Jay-Z, thinking they were in this together. But now, with Diddy facing allegations that could destroy him, Jay-Z remains untouched, watching from a distance, waiting to claim the throne entirely. In all of this, people admit that one thing is clear. There's more to this story than what meets the eye. Beyonce issuing a warning to Jaguar Wright suggests that there is something she doesn't want exposed. Whether it's about her career, her personal life, or her connections to Diddy and Jay-Z, the timing of this warning is telling. Meanwhile, Diddy's empire is on the verge of collapse, and Jay-Z appears to be walking away unscathed, just like he always does. So, what's really going on behind the scenes? Is Beyonce simply protecting her reputation, or is she part of something much bigger? And if Jaguar Wright is right, if this is a carefully orchestrated power struggle, then the next few months could reveal some of the biggest secrets the music industry has ever tried to hide. Stay tuned, because this is far from over. The Empire strikes back. Beyonce and Jay-Z fight back. The walls are closing in, and the stakes have never been higher. With Diddy's empire on the verge of collapse and Jaguar Wright continuing to spill industry secrets, it seems the power players of the music world are finally taking action. Beyonce and Jay-Z, usually silent when it comes to rumors, have reportedly decided enough is enough. According to sources, their legal team has stepped in after Jaguar's latest allegations on Piers Morgan Uncensored sent shockwaves through the industry. But here's the thing. When you bring in lawyers, you're not just denying accusations, you're trying to control the narrative. And that raises an important question. What are they so afraid of? For years, Jaguar Wright has been outspoken about the hidden darkness in the music industry. But when she went on Piers Morgan Uncensored, she didn't just hint at secrets, she named names. She called out both Diddy and Jay-Z, saying, "For 4 years I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters." That's not something you say lightly. And for the first time in a long time, the backlash wasn't just from fans on social media. It came straight from Beyonce and Jay-Z's camp. Within hours of the interview airing, Piers Morgan himself was issuing a public apology, quickly trying to set the record straight. Now here's where things get interesting. Public figures get accused of things all the time, especially in the entertainment industry. But Beyonce and Jay-Z have built their careers on the idea that they're untouchable. They rarely respond to rumors. They ignore the drama. They let their success speak for itself. So why is this different? Why is this the moment they decided to push back? Some believe it's because the allegations are getting too close to the truth. Diddy's downfall and what it means for Jay-Z. Diddy's legal troubles have been dominating headlines for months, with multiple lawsuits against him, including allegations of sex trafficking, racketeering, and even kidnapping. It's clear that his once powerful empire is crumbling. And here's where Jay-Z comes in. Rumors have circulated for years that Diddy and Jay-Z were closer than the public realized. Not just industry friends, but business partners operating in the same powerful circles. According to insiders, Diddy was instrumental in helping Jay-Z navigate the business world, setting him up with key connections and access to wealth beyond music. But with Diddy now facing potential criminal charges, some believe Jay-Z is doing what he does best, distancing himself before the fallout reaches him. This isn't the first time Jay-Z has been accused of cutting ties when things get too messy. D. Haven, a childhood friend who was by Jay-Z's side during his early hustling days, until Jay-Z turned his back on him. Big L, a rising rapper mysteriously murdered before reaching mainstream success, whose style and influence many say Jay-Z absorbed. Dame Dash, a co-founder of Rockefeller Records who helped build Jay-Z's empire, until Jay allegedly pushed him out and took control. And now some believe Jay-Z is preparing to do the same to Diddy. But what does that mean for Beyonce? Beyonce's ties to the scandal. While Jay-Z has been linked to Diddy for years, Beyonce has largely been viewed as separate from his dealings. Until now. Jaguar Wright's claims have put Beyonce in the spotlight, suggesting that she's not just a bystander in this power struggle, she's an active participant. According to sources, Beyonce's career wasn't built solely on talent and hard work, but on strategic connections. Connections that allegedly involve Diddy. Rumor has it that Diddy didn't just introduce Beyonce to Jay-Z, he played a role in securing her place in the industry. Some have even suggested that Beyonce's success came with a cost, one that may have involved personal sacrifices within her own family. And then there's the strange case of the witchcraft allegations, which doesn't seem to want to go away. According to Beyonce's accuser, she was hypnotized and drugged, attacked while she slept, and denied a restraining order against Beyonce. Now these claims sound outlandish, but the fact that they even made it to legal discussion is enough to raise eyebrows. And while the case was thrown out, many are wondering, why did this woman feel so strongly about these accusations? Is it just another baseless rumor, or is there something deeper that the public isn't meant to see? After all is said and done, there are some people who believe that there's more to all that's happening in the industry. According to them, what we're seeing now is the beginning of something bigger. They believe that Jaguar Wright isn't just throwing out wild accusations. She's forcing some of the most powerful people in the industry to respond. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy have spent decades building an image of success, control, and power. But cracks are starting to show. And the more they push back, the more people start to ask, what are they really hiding? Right. At the end of the day, the music industry has always been a world of secrets. There have been whispers of manipulation, exploitation, and hidden deals for years. And while Beyonce and Jay-Z have always stayed above the drama, the fact that they're now fighting back against Jaguar Wright's claims suggests that this time, it might be different. So, is this just another conspiracy theory? Or are we finally getting a glimpse behind the curtain of one of the most powerful empires in music history? Only time will tell. Do you think that there's any substance to Wright's allegations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to turn on the notification bell to be notified of our latest upload.
Boy. Hey everyone coming in. Thank y'all for being here. I hope y'all enjoying this because it's a whole lot of information.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of information.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all. So don't believe the hype or the lies being told. People want to recant their stories.
Wow. I wonder when was that video made?
Which one?
I wonder when was that video made? Hold on. Give me a moment, Jake. Hold me down for a second.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, y'all. We just chilling in the spot. What y'all got going on? How was your day today? Some of y'all gonna have to pull up the replay, see what we was talking about in the beginning of the video with one of Beyonce's drummers talking about what's good, Kiki. Beyonce wasn't the one that killed her cat, but that's not what she said about 4 years ago, a few years ago. And yeah, we just had to get that out there. All these people, they want to lie, and that don't make no sense, you know. But that's our objective, to put out the truth And yeah, put a stop to all these lies. Yeah, what y'all saying in here? That's what's up, going. Yeah, Blissful. We ain't seen y'all. Y'all got to put up the replay. And I wish I could put on another video. But yeah, what y'all think about that? Some crazy work. Crazy work.
Hey, I'm back. You can put on a video. You can share a screen.
I can share a screen?
Yes, you can.
Say word.
Yeah.
How I do that? You're gonna have to show me how.
Okay, so are you
present?
on your computer?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to a tab and pick the video you want and present it to me, and I'll put it up here for you.
Oh shit! All right. Well, I still got the drummer right here. That isn't what I wanted to see though.
Listen, I rarely go live, so if it wasn't for Jay helping me get a little courage to want to go live, I would be live, okay? Because it's a lot of mess in the streets, but we're gonna keep the good content going. We're gonna keep the truth going because a lot of people don't want to believe the truth. Okay, a lot of people do not want to believe the truth.
They want to believe the lies because it's convenient for them.
It's very convenient for them to believe the lie rather than the truth. You know, so I mean, hey. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Please like this video, share it if you care to. Support by subscribing and commenting. I'd love to see y'all y'all comment and y'all pop up out them bushes and yeah. Okay, but let me know when you're ready so that I could put it.
Oh, I stopped doing what I was doing.
Oh no. You get distracted now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I found it. So. Oh wait, this is just a short though.
Yes, it's coming soon. It is coming soon. And it's already cleared, you know. It's already clear. It's just the process of it being completely cleared. So
screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors.
okay, so do you see where the StreamYard and it says the present?
Yeah.
You could just
all right.
So yep, you could just
there we go. You can see that?
Yep, there you go.
But the thing is, I gotta back it up. Can I back it up?
Yep.
There's a whole other
that's her.
On Diddy may have something to do with Biggie Small.
You say something?
Take it back.
That's where it starts, right there.
All right.
There's a whole other story going down, claims Uncle Ron, that P. Diddy may have something to do with Biggie Smalls' demise, and Jay-Z was involved too. Like, Jay-Z talked to Biggie hours before his murder, saying, I spoke to him that night, and he was so happy to be in Los Angeles.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them.
The video with Uncle Ron's claims was taken down after only a few days, which is a little sus. But you know the internet, once something's posted, it isn't easily erased. What I want to know is, did Jay-Z and Beyonce have something to do with its removal? And talking about erasure, has anybody checked on Uncle Ron? He was afraid of speaking out in the past because he was, and still is, afraid for his children.
But see, when I start talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, some toes will curl for sure.
And like, did you see that photo of Ron in the hospital? Yikes. Do you think Beyonce knows the truth? There's a whole other story going down, claims Uncle Ron, that
So basically, I wanted to show that video just to like corroborate what Jag was saying. He just said the same shit. Yeah, and we know what happened to him. You know, so
yeah, that was so weird what happened to him. You know, him doing these videos, even with Jay-Z bodyguard, you know.
You said Jay-Z bodyguard?
I think
Or
it was
Diddy?
Jay-Z. Was it P. Diddy? Was it, what was the name?
It was Diddy.
The name?
Which one?
Hold on, let me see.
Gene was
not Gene, but it was another one. It was another guy. Hold on.
The one that sued him because of his kid that's in jail. I forget his name.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, I could look it up too.
Yeah. Was it Jay-Z's? Not Uncle Ron.
Not Jay-Z, it's Diddy.
Not Diddy.
Oh, wait, 1 second. Look who popped up first.
Right.
Nah, I don't want to click on that. There we go. Roger Bonds right there.
Okay, click on that. See what that one was about.
Nah, that's Vlad's video. You ain't trying to get it straight.
Buried?
Oh, my mouse, I had to plug it out.
No.
What's this? Producer turned pastor tells on. I slept in Diddy's house. You heard this?
No.
I just remember him walking in and asking everybody, "Hey, what kind of
girl?" You gotta make it bigger.
I think somebody said they wanted Puerto Rican.
You want me to click on it?
Sure, why not?
I guess
they wanted Puerto Rican girls. A few moments
fair
later,
use.
That was just one of the instances where like the power that this guy could get whatever he wanted. We would all be in the studio and they would be chanting different things over the music alone. This whole thing is spiritual. The spirit realm very much controls what it sounds like, what it looks like, what happens.
I'll go hear this. What was it like going from the secular industry into the gospel scene?
It's almost one and the same.
I believe that, though.
You've got to decide which side of the table you want to sit on.
Jesus said, I don't want them to know this.
God has given us a heads up that something is coming. We're in a wealth transfer moment.
Wait,
Christ isn't true. Which side of the table you want to sit on?
What you say?
When was Diddy's ex-producer turned pastor tells? When was this uploaded?
I think it said like 5 months ago. 5 months ago.
Okay, all right. Well, let's
get got 2 million views already.
Okay. I'm gonna look into that too and see that other bodyguard that I'm thinking about. I don't think it was any of these Fahim Muhammad. I don't think it was any of these. Peace, Golden Aries. How you doing, love? Thank you for being here.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Oh, you ready? All right. Oh, my bad. I was further in this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we
discovered the whole P. Diddy background to your life through a prophecy I gave you when you were playing the keyboard at the church. I think it's the first time I prophesied over you.
Yes.
And it was something about, if I can remember vaguely, and I'm sure they'll play a video of it, but something about you having a lot of influence, and people don't know the shoulders you rub with and all of that.
There are songs on other people's lips that nobody knows that we wrote those songs.
You want me to forward this?
Say it again.
You want me to forward this? What y'all think? Y'all want me to forward this? Is it relevant?
Lord says, the Holy Ghost.
That's good, Gold.
I mean, it's good. It's been good.
The Lord says, you left the industry.
And I'm like, oh, I really want to talk about this Diddy story and really talk about it from a spiritual perspective. To myself, I'm thinking that then he comes in, hey, can we film Pastor Rod? I said, for what? He said he used to be a producer of P. Diddy.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Wow. Well, let's we're gonna go into all of that. Let's rewind a little bit. How did you get into the music scene?
So I started in music. My father was a pastor, and around the age of 12, as he's growing his ministry, growing his church, he laid hands on me one day. I had no desire for music. I wasn't, playing any instruments. And he said, I'm going to impart a gift to you. I impart the gift of music to you. And he laid hands on me. And over time, so maybe over the next 24 months, over the next couple of years, I started, I could notice I could play a melody with one finger on the piano, and then I could put together chords. I definitely know that it is a gift of God. The Bible says that God distributes gifts unto men, and that not only is it spiritual gifts, but it's also music or maybe business, or there's different things that God distributes to men. And I think definitely that's something I received directly from God.
That's so good, because we often talk about like the Acts 2 outpouring of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
By my spirit, your sons and daughters will prophesy.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't often talk about the first outpouring of the Holy Spirit, which was Exodus 31, where the Spirit of God's poured upon them in design and craft. Wow. So that seems like that just laid hands on you, and there was this supernatural ability to find this craft that you didn't otherwise possess.
Right.
Powerful. So what happened after that impartation?
So after that, over the next couple of years, I'm introduced to the piano and the organ, and I just noticed in my off times, if I wasn't at school, I'm glued to the piano now. I'm listening to songs and trying to pick out melodies. All I really had at that point was the music. The music was my go-to. So my mom got me this workstation. I'm in there honing my skills. I'm creating sounds and I'm putting things together. And slowly more and more people are saying, wow, man, this actually sounds pretty good. So a lot of the drug boys in the neighborhood, everybody wanted to rap. Everybody wanted to be a rapper. And so they needed beats. So they would come to me for beats. And at this point, I'm selling beats. So I'm making a little money. I'm making 100 here. As time goes on, I run into a manager, a guy who says he's an artist manager. The manager told us about something called the Motown Talent Search, which was put on by a guy named Andre Harrell, who founded P. Diddy. He founded a lot of people in music, Mary J. Blige, a lot of people in the industry. He was a very high up guy in the music industry at that point. And the Motown Talent Search was kind of like American Idol before the technology, before, TV. So if you got that opportunity, you had to take advantage of it because the competition was very stiff. And we got invited out, and we did our thing, and we got invited back to a second round. So we were really, we were like, well, wow, this is crazy. Andre Harrell, Motown, like, man, this is crazy. It all came to an end though when I went home one night, and I'm just going over my stuff and going over my raps, and I hear a voice that says, take all your raps and destroy them and burn them. And for some reason, I knew it was God. I mean, I hadn't had, that many close conversations with the Lord. I mean, I grew up in church, but I knew it was something about that voice. It carried a lot of weight and a lot of conviction. And so in that moment, I decided to obey. And I had a big stack of songs that I had written. Now, they were full of the normal stuff, profanity and whatever rappers were talking about at the time. Women, drugs, violence. And so this voice told me to take the raps, don't just throw them in the trash can, very specific, take them outside, put gas on them, and burn them. I burned the raps, and I had another conversation with God, and I said, well, if I can't do the raps, I'm gonna at least do the beats, because this would, in my mind, this would be a waste. Like, why would you give me the talent, the ability to create this music? I'm growing, I'm getting sharper, and I'm kind of at an advantage over where most people would be at this point in their career. I've met all of these people. I've gone to New York. I bought equipment. I got to get to the top of this thing. Mm-hmm. And I told God, I'm going to just make the beats. And I did that. I started making beats for more groups, more drug dealers, started making a little more money per beat. I think I started at like $100 a beat, got all the way up to like 700, 1,000. So now things are growing. I'm about 18 years old now, and I moved to Houston.
Let's go right now into like meeting Diddy.
Okay.
What was it like meeting Diddy for the first time?
Meeting him for the first time, it was, number one, it was the dream come true. I met some guys who said that they could get me to him. I'm producing records. They send one of the records, and I get a call, hey, Diddy loves the record. He wants to use it. And I get a check for $7,000 for that little bitty track I did. Probably took me 5 minutes to make the track. So I'm steadily sending more records. And now Diddy wants to meet. Now they're like, they want you to come to New York. So I get on the plane and I go to New York. And I go to Daddy's House Studio, 44th and Broadway in Manhattan. And we're all out there, and Diddy pulls up in a drop top Ferrari 360 Spider.
What's Daddy's House? What's the reference to Daddy's?
So Daddy's House, his name was Puff Daddy then. It wasn't Diddy.
I heard him say Daddy.
Y'all heard him say 44 though.
Right, and I thought I heard him say Daddy too. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. And who was the 44th president? I'll just leave that right there.
Yeah, it was Puff Daddy. So Daddy's House recording studio. Yeah, so
that was your first encounter with them. What was like your next significant encounter with them?
Next significant encounter was in Miami.
Okay.
It was in Miami at a party. I just remember him walking in and asking everybody, hey, what kind of girls do y'all want? And like, a few moments later, girls came in. And I think somebody said they wanted Puerto Rican girls. And just a bunch of them came in.
Where did they come from?
I don't know. I didn't have the connections with
Great.
So, we're in Miami, and that was just, that was just one of the many instances where like the power that, this guy could get whatever he wanted. There was already girls there at the party, but I believe these girls came specifically to do whatever we wanted them to do. So,
and it's suffice to say at this point, you're backslidden, you're gone, or is there still a fight in there?
There's still a fight. There's still a fight. I'm dealing with the voice of the Lord every moment telling me to get out of there, and fighting this. I actually feel like I'm going crazy, and I'm trying to share with other people to see if they're going through the same thing, because I know some of the producers and the writers that I'm around, they came from church too. And I'm wondering, like, man, how are y'all like not feeling this? Like, because the fire of God is all over me. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna lose my mind trying to fight this. So, there was a couple guys I would try to talk to, and I would say, hey, how do you feel about doing secular and, and working for the Lord? Like, how are you feeling about it? And some guys would say, hey, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's just the gift. And so a lot of times I would go back to God, like, God, you gave me the gift. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I struggling emotionally and psychologically?
So tell us about the overall environment of the music industry. You're in now, the secular industry at least. What did you experience, let's say more so from a spiritual Christian's perspective, being inside? What did you experience?
One thing I experienced is that this whole thing is spiritual. Most people would just attribute it to being gifted or being talented, but the spirit realm very much controls what it sounds like, what it looks like, what happens in these rooms, on these records, what's written. I remember even the first record that I did for Bad Boy Records. I remember being in the studio for 4 days straight, no sleep, because I was driven by something more than just my own ability. It was something driving me. Was it a demonic spirit? I believe it was a demonic spirit, in the sense that if I wasn't in those realms, I couldn't hear the music like that. I couldn't hear it as clear. Like, there were certain sounds and certain things that I could hear and produce that if I wasn't in that mind frame, I wouldn't be able to produce it.
So what got you in that mind frame? What would it be?
It would be focus, just almost channeling something else. Weed, getting in the studio and just, channeling it, just pulling it out. And when I got to a certain level of it, I noticed it could come in 5 minutes. I could just create something and it would be amazing. Some of the most amazing music I ever heard.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you described moments where you saw people actually doing seances over their music.
Absolutely.
So what did that look like?
So we would all be in the studio, and it would almost be ritualistic. We would light candles, and as the beats are playing, they would, their hands would be moving like this, and they would be chanting different things over the music alone. This is before it goes to the writers. And honestly, I can hear it in my ears like it was just yesterday. Like it was amazing music. And I again, you don't get to those realms without a supernatural
Pause it for me.
Aid or a supernatural guide.
And so fast forward, like your next.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We about
to took that from my brain. I wanted to pause it.
We about to welcome the one and only.
Yeah, no.
Grace, hold on. Where'd she go? Come back, Grace. Come back. I don't know what happened. Come back. Tap back in with us, Grace. I don't know what happened, love. But go ahead. You want to do some commentary on it? You got something to say about it?
Yeah, but there was a point I wanted to make. Hold on. Let me pull it up for a second.
And I again, you don't get to those realms without a super.
Yeah, when he's talking about the supernatural thing that they do over the record, before even the writers get it, so that it's infused with all that spirituality stuff that they put in there. And I heard that they did that years ago. I don't know if I really believe it, but at the top of the is it Much Music building? That's a Masonic building. If you ain't know Much Music, I don't know what y'all call it in the States. Y'all have another name for it.
Like Capitol Record.
TLR. No, I'm talking about the TV shows.
Oh,
where they record, like where they used to have artists come and perform and do a little interview.
Kind of
MTV on the top of the building because it's a Masonic building. All the windows is blocked out, and they do all that shit up there. That's what I heard. I ain't never been up there to confirm that, but yeah. So what he's saying makes sense to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grace, where you at?
She coming back. But yeah, like he said, how he was basically fighting with himself and the secular music and the godly music, like how he was battling with himself, going back and forth. So he knew something in his spirits wasn't right. It just didn't feel right for him to come from church. And now to think about it, it seemed like a lot of people come from church and get into the industry, So it's deep. It's so deep.
Yeah.
And they go into, like he said, he was getting paid for little samples. And it became so much to where Jay-Z wanted to meet him and got invited to, quote unquote, Daddy's house. Like, wait, what? But hold on, I'm going to add Grace to the stage.
All right.
Welcome, love.
What's good, Grace? I think you muted.
No, she's not muted. She'll come in.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Asha. Hi, Jay. Hi, everybody.
What's poppin'?
Oh, nothing. I just saw that you guys were live, and I was like, Asha's live, and I saw you here, so I was like, let me tap in. Hi.
Yes, thank you for tapping in. This is a spare moment. This is out of the blue. This is something at the last moment because I went live earlier, and we were watching. We were doing like a comedy little thingy, just to give a little laughter to the audience and the people out there in the world. And then Jay came across some information. He was like, "Let's go live again." So I'm like, "Fuck it, let's go live again."
It was right after our video, right after the live we did. I seen it. Seen the video.
So we're just basically talking about how these people get sucked into the industry and how they get not really sucked into the industry.
Oh yeah, they get sucked in.
He was telling his story. He was telling his story about there's I hear an echo in the background. You have anything up?
Not me.
No. Okay. You said you hear an echo?
Yeah, kind of like. Okay, I don't hear it no more.
You want me to come back out?
No. I don't hear it no more. You're good. He was basically telling his story, how he started from the church and how he was so good. First, he started off by saying how he was a little boy and how his father basically prayed over him to have the
musical
musical traits, within him, and basically he wanted his son, him, to grow into his creativity, which he did. And once he realized he was, good enough, people started seeing him for what his talent, whatever. And Jay-Z was paying him. People were paying him from Jay-Z camp, or was it Jay-Z who was paying him? He had got a $7,000 check, and they were just basically like,
was it Diddy's camp?
Yeah.
Bad boy, Daddy's house. Thing.
He was getting paid for his talent to where eventually they wanted to meet him. And so that's kind of like where we are now. And he was talking about how his spirit was tugging against him. Like he didn't feel right about it, you know? So we're listening. We're just doing commentary over it. So whenever you want to say something, you already know how it goes. We can just talk.
Just say pause, and I'll pause it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead, love. Go ahead.
All right, let's go.
Natural.
I came at the good part. All right.
Or supernatural guide.
And so fast forward, thinking kind of Diddy moment. What was that like?
We spent the time together in New York at Daddy's house. And then when we went to Miami, there was a couple parties. And we never really came one-on-one. You know, you really had to be in his inner circle to get that close to him and to spend that kind of time with him. So being new and coming up through the ranks, and he would come in and say, man, you guys sound amazing. Keep going. He would give us encouragement. And of course we got on some records and we made the money and the doors were opening. And I believe that in the realm of the spirit, should I have taken the different sacrifices and the different sexcapades and done all of these things, I think it would have just kept going. But I think the Lord put the brakes on it and in a way and put fire on it. So
and what was like a final straw for you?
So after leaving Miami, there was another party that was happening in Vegas. So everybody flew to Vegas. It may have been an industry event, like an award show or something. So we're all in Vegas. Everybody's there. Diddy, I believe Dr. Dre is there. Truth Hurts is there. A bunch of people are there. And so my way was paid, by my handlers from Diddy's camp. And hotel, plane, food, everything I need is all taken care of. And at this point, I'm pretty much about to go crazy trying to fight what the Lord wants me to do. And when I got there, I said, I can't do it anymore. Party's gonna happen that night. I said, I can't do it. So without telling anybody, I just walk away, and I don't even know how I'm gonna get home. So I'm on the Vegas Strip and I'm crying my eyes out like a crazy man. And people are walking by looking at me like I'm a homeless guy, and I'm no words, just in the bus stop, sitting there just crying like a crazy man. And I called my dad, and my dad bought me a plane ticket. I jump on the plane, I go back to Houston. And the phone call start. Hey, where you at? And I told him, hey, I can't do it. I'm not coming. They're like, well, what do you mean you can't do it? We're getting ready to go into the party. Like, where you at? And I'm like, well, I've left town. I can't do it. And they were like, what? Hey, you joking? And I said, I'm walking away from it all. And they were like, no, you're not walking away. You need to get here now. And I hung up and I stopped answering calls. But then the threats started. I started getting threats. We're going to find you. None of these guys knew my mom or where she lived. My mom started calling me, hey, these guys are calling. My wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. They were even calling her house. Yes, they were calling my dad. They even came to my church.
Right, Jen.
Sounds familiar.
It was very scary because I almost felt forced into, I almost felt like, well, I'm going to have to go back into this and I'm going to have to fulfill it, because I didn't want anybody to get hurt.
Well, it's almost like, I watched this video about the former wife of P. Diddy. I can't wrote a book about her. I can't remember her name. Kim Porter. And she was speaking about how there was only one way out.
Yes.
Death.
Yes.
You're leaving in a body bed. Or I think it was Rihanna when she got signed to Jay-Z. He said something like there are two ways out. You sign this deal or out that window.
Yes.
She signed because they were on like a 20th floor of a biggest apartment building.
9th floor.
And so these things are like cults. They're not really record labels.
Right.
Cult following.
Absolutely.
Wow. Why do you think it was holding on to you so tight?
I think one of the reasons is because I got really close and I seen it with my own eyes. I experienced it, and I had the option to say no and to walk away.
Right.
I got that close. I tasted it, and I still walked away. And I walked away because of the voice of the Lord.
And they even came to your church.
They did.
Yeah.
I told the Lord, Lord, if you help me out of this one, I'll obey you. I'll do whatever you want. And I prayed with a sincere heart, and the call subsided. They stopped. They stopped. But the crazy part is I actually went back to the music. I actually went back. The pull was so heavy. I figured, okay, I got away from them. I'll just carve my own way, and I'll just do it my way this time.
Okay.
I'll do it in a clean way, God. I'll just.
Which seemed to be a thing, like God, I won't do the raps anymore. I'll just do the beats, okay?
Yeah.
And the beats. God, I'll go to Houston, but I'll sit. You're kind of like Lot. I'll sit on the outside,
right?
And Gomorrah. Then somehow you found your way back in again.
I did.
So here you are back again. You're back in the scene.
So what happened was Beyonce's attorney here in Houston, he had a recording studio on the 21st floor of the Great Southwest Building downtown Houston. It was a nice recording studio, small. They gave me access to it. So I would just go in there, and because I didn't want to lose my ability to create, and I was so used to creating every day, and I'm on the run, and I'm like, man, I gotta get somewhere and get back to the music. For somebody that's creative, not to be able to create is almost depression. So I'm like, I gotta find an outlet. So we make a deal. He allows me to use the studio, and I'm in there creating every day, and a lady comes by and she says, hey, I got some cookies, some ganja cookies.
Don't eat it.
And so I eat one.
No.
No, I eat one of these cookies, and I'm like, man, well, I don't feel nothing. So I eat 2. Then I eat 3.
Wow. That's a nice cookie.
Then I eat 6.
Lord have mercy.
So after a while,
you ate 6 ganja cookies?
I ate 6 of them. And after a while, everything I think, say, or do is doubling. Like I'm hallucinating at this point.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, man, it didn't feel good. This is crazy. Like I want out of this. This is, So now I'm panicking. Now I'm having a panic attack.
Oh no!
I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh no!
Make it stop. And my mind is like,
why
I'm
did you
tripping
come there
at
so
this
hard?
point.
Wow.
Okay,
And so,
I would
like my muffin.
I start praying. And
No,
I said,
Jay,
Lord,
put the muffin down, Jay.
forgive me for this, but
I
help
know.
me out of this.
On your trip, did you go into the supernatural?
I did.
And what did you see?
So it's like I entered into a red room. It's like everything became red.
Did he like red?
And I started calling out to the Lord, but then the demons appeared. And they said, he can't hear you.
Oh no.
Just slow down. So you're in a red room. What do you mean red room? Painted red or blood red? What's the red?
It was just, it's like my vision. Everything I saw was just red in color, dark and red.
And then you're calling on Jesus.
I'm calling on the Lord.
Demon or demons?
Demons.
How many?
Oh, it was a bunch of them.
Oh, no.
They all appear and they're talking. And it's real. And they're talking and they're saying, he can't hear you. And I said, the blood of Jesus. They said it's not going to work. And I'm
been told you
it's not going to work. And now.
What'd you say, Grace?
Go ahead, Grace.
Them demons, boy.
I'm about to say that boy's gonna start seeing demons after cooking.
Like, what the heck was in those cookies?
Right.
Got him hallucinating.
Because of that, I'm really terrified now because I grew up. If you say Jesus, the demons got to flee. They got to go.
No, I was thinking like that. That's a lot. First of all, I was gonna say, man, that boy's about to start seeing demons at the cookie.
And I'm like the blood, and they're about to die, and now you go in hell because you.
Okay, they listen.
God.
All them concoctions. Apparently, they done moved over to perfume.
And I felt myself going.
Right.
See them? I seen them.
What do they look like?
Some of them, they look like gremlins, and one of them looked like it was like a clown, but with a top.
Maybe it was mushroom chocolate. Maybe it was TMT or some type of psychosis.
As I'm going through this, I feel myself going out. I feel myself like going out, and so consciously I say, if I can make it to the elevator, because I'm on the 21st floor, there's nobody else there, and this is
Sweet cookie lady's gone.
She's gone.
Oh, she left you by yourself.
She left me. She been left before I even ate the cookie. She was gone.
She left you with 6 cookies inside you.
She left.
Wow. Okay.
And so I said, if I could just get to the elevator, at least somebody will find me if I go out.
Put mushrooms.
So I get to the elevator and I hit the first.
Like, they put everything that they weren't supposed to put in those cookies.
Right? Because to have him singing all that, he had.
Talking about God can't hear you. God can't hear you down here.
Man, what? Listen.
That's scary, yo. Can't hear you down here, buddy.
Hey, that's deep as shit, man. That's fucked up. But okay.
Yeah. That's fucked up for real.
First floor, and I go out.
Everybody.
I'm going under.
Not even a snack.
And
not at all.
The security guy finds me.
Right. Make sure
and he calls 911. Now I'm unconscious, but I can hear everything that they're saying, but I can't wake up.
Right.
And they're saying, "Oh my God, he's too young to have blood pressure this high, and
reaction.
And we gotta hurry up and get him to the hospital."
Like, that's
and
wild.
they said that my veins were jumping out of my neck like this. And
like, do you know what they had to brew in order to make that? Like, they had to.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Put it in to make it taste good.
Who made the cookies? Who made the cookies? Where she come? Like, who hired her to make the cookies? Who allowed her to be in Diddy's house making cookies?
You know who? The owner or the renter, because we all know that ain't his house.
Oh man! Right, look.
Right, brew somewhere.
Oh, hold on, give me a moment, you guys.
That's made it. A remote island. I'm telling y'all, they got her from the bushes somewhere, deep in the mountains. I'm talking jungle territory.
For real though.
Yo.
Some crazy work, yo.
Yeah, no, like, we're not doing that. And then the vanilla in them cooked something. Like, I know it had to taste a little bit earthy. He ate 6 of them. Yeah.
Man, all of them. You know why he probably ate them too? Because Diddy
And like,
don't
I'm
let people eat in
pastry
his
chef. Do
studio.
you know how many flavors you can hide with a good dose of vanilla, sir? Like,
True say.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then after these people have called your mama, you said that these people shouldn't know where your mama is, and she just standing there with a tray of cookies. Like, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am, no. I wouldn't have even pet the dog that was sitting there. Like,
For real though.
And then they talk about the blood of Jesus isn't going to work here. What?
Okay.
Like what?
Man.
What?
He was real life trapped. Like, get out.
Like, don't take a snicker. Like, don't. Okay, just trapped. Like
don't even sniff. They don't even smell nothing.
I know he went home and prayed for days.
Right.
You might pass out.
Like, go in there like straight quarantine mode. Put your mask on. Yo, I'm still on the room. Like, he went to a red room where he's seeing gremlins and creatures of the night. Miss Lady is standing there with a tray of cookies. Like he asks no questions. Like, I understand. Maybe I know that he's telling the story now. I really want to understand. Like, sir, why did you think that was normal? Like, there was like nothing went off. You're in a studio and this lady over here standing there with a tray of cookies. Like, well, have you seen the kitchen? When's the last time you went to the studio kitchen? Like, absolutely not.
The tray of cookies.
No milk.
I don't even want the milk.
Right, YJ? You're right. Him a tray of cookies, and she didn't bring like not one beverage.
Not
like,
no water.
I'm serious. Like, no, like I'm over here thinking.
I mean, but shit,
nothing. Ain't no water for nobody. You didn't bring no milk.
Water,
no ice to chew on. Like,
at that point, you can't trust anything. Can't trust anything.
No, like you can't trust the air conditioning that's on. Like, go up in there, like, no.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Yeah, that's wild.
This man said that this lady was standing there with a tray of 6 cookies, and then the fact that she had 6 of them up there. Like, sir, where do you go offering up anybody 6 cookies for free? This is not your grandma's house. Like, I have so many questions. Like, he really should like find an artist to just draw out what it is that he saw, because like the animation, I don't even think it's enough. And then the nerve of the gremlins and creatures to talk to you, talking about the blood of Jesus ain't gonna work here. Excuse me? This is my hallucination. Why are you talking to me? Like, shouldn't you be dancing, singing? Like, they talking to him. Like, I'm telling you, the lady who had the cookies, they got her from a remote island. She was from a remote village.
Somewhere.
I'm telling you.
But wait, right after he turned pastor, right after this incident, it says he turned pastor. He went and he ran to Christ. But wait.
Oh, you dog right. What else can you do after that? He can't go work at Walmart. He can't go make music no more. Like, yes, go sing for the Lord. You must spend all your time in church. Like, listen, and I'm not even mad at him. Like, yes, sir.
Man.
Go to the church and stay there. I'm like, oh, gosh.
With no questions. He said he went from 1 to 6.
No questions. Why'd you? Yes. And then the lady told you that they was edibles. Like, sir, anybody who enjoys the elevated snacks, tread lightly. He ate all 6 of them. Like, girl.
All right, let's go.
Tread lightly. No.
Man.
What?
I would never be that hungry. You got
get to the hospital, they're running, tubes.
Right. Like, where's the food?
My heart is racing.
Where's
I
the
can hear
food
the doctors.
at?
The doctors are saying we can't figure out what it is because it's not.
Ain't got no food. But remember, Diddy don't like food in his studio.
I would have been eating on the way there.
Right.
Man.
Hiding no snacks in my shirt.
I would have been on the verge of the itis. Like, no.
So he don't like outside
Okay,
food. So it's like the movie theaters. You can't bring no outside food
You
into his
took it
house.
from my brain. I was gonna say that. I didn't want to sound ghetto.
Nah.
For the movie theater days.
You bring your outside food in the movie
I'll
theater.
bring my Toonie Tuesday up in that motherfucker.
Okay, no. No, I ate
chicken.
before I came. Okay?
That too.
Jeez. Eat the chicken in the car. Like, no.
For real.
And then, sir, they called your mama like weeks before. Like, I don't understand. Like, did he think he was forgiven or something? Like, I have a lot of questions. Like, just on the cookies alone.
Just on the cookies alone.
Yo, that had to come from overseas.
For
Wow.
real. All right, I'm gonna play it.
My physical.
All right, go ahead.
It's wild.
There's nothing wrong with him. So I'm like, oh my God, my mind is gone. Like, man, I've literally gone crazy playing with the devil, and now I've lost my mind, you know. And I'm terrified.
I think it was high out his mind.
I can't wake up. It's like the demons are talking. It's torture. And so all of a sudden, I hear the voice of my pastors. They came into the hospital room. I don't know how they heard I was there, but they come in and I can hear them praying, speaking in tongues. And all of a sudden, boom, peace came over me. Now I'm still unconscious, but I felt at peace, you know. The voice of the devil stopped, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the Lord. I'm still unconscious, but I'm talking to the Lord. And I'm relieved, like, wow, this is crazy. And I'm asking the Lord. One thing I remember asking the Lord, I said, Lord, if this is really you telling me to leave this music completely alone,
give me a sign.
Give me a sign. If not, if all of this wasn't sign enough, I'm like, Lord, give me a sign. Okay. And the day I get out of the hospital, I find a cassette tape on the ground called The Truth Behind Hip Hop.
Okay, that's by that pastor.
G. Craig Lewis.
Craig Lewis.
Yes. I find that tape on the ground out of nowhere. And I listened to it, and it was a big part of me being delivered from that music and from the pool, because it helped me understand spiritually what I was really up against and what I was going through.
So I know we're running out of time, but I've got to hear this. What was it like going from the secular industry into the gospel scene? Because now you're saved, you let go of the secular stuff. Now you're kind of with the, forgive me for no better term, gospel celebrity.
So he's saying he found a cassette on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I came into my awakening of truths, or however you want to say it, was back in 2009. What's his name? Craig G. Lewis, whatever his name is. I think, if I'm not saying it wrong, he's a pastor in Texas. But I came across him from a family member of mine's, and basically he just breaks down the Bible, right? But he's letting you know what really goes on in hip hop, the truth behind hip hop. And it shows you so much. Like, it'll open your eyes so much, and it'll just have you going down an endless rabbit hole. And it is so deep. That's why I'm here today. You know, if it hadn't been from back then, but you can search him up on YouTube. Matter of fact, I'll send it to you. I'll send you his link. I'll also drop it in the comment section after the video is over with, if anybody is interested in going to check that out. But yeah, it's deep. It's really deep. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I am.
Or celebrated gospel singers.
Right.
What was that like? Was it easier? Was it better?
It was almost one and the same.
Hello, everybody. I want to introduce you to my new book, The Occupy Handbook.
Everybody
This
get the
book
book.
is going to teach
forward
you
this for time.
side.
Yes.
P. Diddy's on the light side.
Yes.
And now you find yourself in the similar kind of sexualized drugs world.
Absolutely. The spirit of it is the same. It's just a different face. The spirit behind a Diddy party is no different than the spirit behind any other party where you have the flesh on display. I think I had an easier time doing hip hop and R&B
and gospel.
God, I've had songs stolen. I've had, people rip my music off in gospel. Whereas in R&B, it was almost everything that they, the payments were there, the royalties was there. I've had gospel people try to steal my publishing, my royalties. Yeah.
So, I mean, there aren't a lot of people going to be excited to hear you doing this part of the interview where we were just talking about the Diddy world. And it's so easy to talk about the Diddy world because it's all of the news, of course, it's there, and it's kind of expected. I mean, he's called Daddy and he has a daddy's house. So it's like, I don't even understand why it's so shocking to people, except for maybe the child allegations and it's the church side that really saddens me. Of course, we all make mistakes. I have made a ton of them. But this seems a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more organized, and kind of a best kept secret of a cabal.
Absolutely.
Do you think it still happens today?
Absolutely, 100%. I think that Satan's grip on music, it's not just genres that are not necessarily Christian or gospel. I think they all bottleneck into Satan. And I think that the gatekeepers in one are the same as the gatekeepers in another. There are certain rituals you have to do if you want to get to the top of the industry.
I have my thoughts on this, but what do you think makes gospel music gospel then? There's really no line, and we're all having Diddy parties on both sides of the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
What is, when you get up on our altar to sing a worship song, or your wife does, and both of you are the worship pastors, how do we know?
I used to ask God, Lord, how come? Because I love the sound of R&B. I know that the lyrics definitely don't honor God, but one of my struggles was I can create that music on a high level. Like, I love it. If I get in the room and I get my gear, I can create stuff that the world would like, right? So I used to ask God, how come I can't take this and make this glorify you? How come I can't take that sound and make it glorify you? Which a lot of guys do. They take R&B and they'll put gospel lyrics on top of it and just say it's gospel. So I was asking the Lord that, and the Lord spoke to me and said, whenever the Spirit of God is made manifest in a room, the sound that is produced is not that. It's a different sound. And that's how you know. The sound that comes from the manifestation of the Holy Ghost is not going to be R&B. It's going to glorify the Lamb. And it's going to lift the name of Jesus. And I've been in church a long time. I've been around music a long time. It's never that.
Well, David was a producer.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that man made a lot of songs, but he also made a lot of sounds.
Yes.
And, the Bible talks about the sound of distinctions. I often think of the producer's job as more significant than the rapper's job.
Yes.
The rapper's job is the incantation, whether it's booty or breasts or drugs or whatever it is. That's their thing, to bypass, to muse you, to bypass what your brain is. I mean, I got saved and I started singing songs that I used to sing. Then I heard the lyrics for the first time with the Holy Ghost in me. I was like, oh, I never even knew I was saying that. But it's the sound.
It's the sound.
That's the muse that pulls the words away and makes them bypass the conscious straight to the subconscious. And before you know it, you're tied in. But David would make sounds. He would make sounds that would make demons leave Saul.
Yes.
He would produce, and he wasn't singing on them. He would just play the sound, and the demons that used to possess and harass Saul would depart from him. So that means that there's a sound that draws
the
spirits.
frequency.
There is a sound.
Or repels spirits.
Yes.
It's not just rebuking with your mouth. You can rebuke a demon with the right sound.
Yes.
And so it's time, I guess, for the church to stop borrowing their sound.
Absolutely.
From the world and start getting into the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
To hear the sounds that he's making, so that those sounds can have a distinction that can deal with the atmospheres that are going on in America.
Absolutely.
And you got the most velvety hands in the whole world. I mean, he could put us on the floor at any moment worshiping the Lord. I don't know your history, but I know it's rich. And I just, every time I come up in here, the second time I've been here, you just want to just worship the Lord when that man plays. I just play something.
Yeah, there you go. Pause it right there. There, hey, that's so deep though. It's so deep.
Yeah.
Let me see what's this back here. Okay, that's cool. That's cool, Grace. Yeah, but
how do I stop screen?
just stop it. Yeah.
I'll be learning.
Yeah, I mean, hey, play with it, and that's the only way you'll learn. That's how I learned, by playing with it. And Jag really helped me out a lot too with the StreamYard and learning how to navigate it and share screens. I remember when we used to always be on live and pulling up videos and just talking about things that's going on. So it's wild. But to hear his story, and to hear what he went through is like, it's crazy. It's wild because it's wild. It's wild.
For sure. And there's so many other stories like that, but people haven't came out yet.
Right. That's why when I heard Jaguar's story, I'm like, dang, this sounds familiar. Like a lot of people get done like that in the industry. Everybody may have a different story, but it's similar to what the experience, especially when you want out.
Let's say the majority of folks get handled like that.
Yeah. Because I've been wondering where a lot of people went. Like it's a whole lot of people out there that had bangers back in the days. Just like where they're at now.
Got real jobs now.
Well, working at McDonald's?
Probably. Like becoming manager. Like what's that dude name? Jay Prince? Jay Prince's son? Jay Prince Jr. He's a manager at McDonald's now, so I hear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Gotta get it how you get it.
I guess so. So. And they just out here not speaking on their wrongdoing, like they're conniving, how they trick the people. But that was interesting too when he said, as far as like, of course, we already know, but as far as the melody and the tone and the vibrations and the frequency within the music and the beat, the low vibration, the high vibration.
Yeah, it's all low vibration.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no high vibration in that.
Listen, it's just wow. It's just crazy. Let me see. So much stuff out there.
Yeah.
Grace, you still there with us too?
I think she muted.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, love. Let's see.
New party footage.
I hope everyone is enjoying this live.
Yes, yes.
Thank you all for being here. Make sure you hit that like for me. Share this video and subscribe. And yeah, let's see. Oh, baby, in a coffin. All right, let's see what else. So what else you want to pull up? You got anything else you want to pull up?
I did see something. Hold on, let me see. Let me go back. Again, no, we ain't gonna do the flag. The big homie CC. But it's about Diddy.
Okay. All right, let me see. Let me know when you got it in the back.
I think I do. Go to present. All right, that's cool, Grace. Grace just dropped a message in the back.
Okay. All right, love. All right, let's see.
I got a cue.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yep.
I think. So this is big homie CC.
This is his page?
About, nah, this actually, sorry, my bad. Go to the page. It's Michael Franzese. Y'all see that, right? Franzese.
Yeah. Franzese.
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 Yeah,
almost like
I heard about him.
What is he?
He's a good content creator. He got 1 million subs. So I guess he don't need us to tell y'all to sub to him.
I mean, go ahead and go sub. Get him, you know.
Yeah. Why not? Going.
The wife's on these tapes. So that's something I can confirm to be fact. He said, I asked my partner for an Advil. He handed me the Advil. I woke up 22 days, but Cove is the person who poisoned them and put him in the phone. They like to keep memorabilia from these escapades. And, you know, this is something that's a lot more common than people think amongst elite parts of society.
I'm walking redemption.
Hey everyone, welcome to another sit down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very good, very blessed on this end, especially through this holiday season. And as always, I give all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving to our God for that. Diddy, in the news, every single day we seem to hear something about it. Somebody is making complaints. Somebody is talking about it. Just a day or two ago, the assistant U.S. attorney read the indictment. Not pretty at all. A lot of pretty rough allegations in there. My position, as always, you're innocent until proven guilty. But, you know, you start to see some things that pile up and give you cause to say, what the heck went on there? You know, it's not good. We know that. It's not good. And I think Diddy's got a handful of issues that he's got to deal with. I don't know if he'll ever be free again. We'll see. Who knows what's going to happen with him? If these powerful people are involved in this and they don't want this to get out, could it be another Epstein deal? You know, my feeling, I don't believe Epstein committed suicide. I'll take that to my grave unless you show me hard evidence to the contrary. I was in that tier. I was in that cell. I know the deal. There's no way, in my view, that he could have committed suicide. You know, Trump says he's going to release the Epstein files. We'll see. We'll see who's on there. Same with Diddy. I think it's going to be surprising to a lot of people. So guests get in touch with me. They want to be on. They talk to me. So many people have contacted me about Diddy. I try to weed through them. Who's telling truth? Who's not? We talked to Suge Knight.
How do you do that?
Some controversy there, but come on. Suge is a street guy. He knew Diddy. He knows the rap industry is good or better than anybody. So I have to, say that he's credible in a lot of things that he said. Then I brought Greg on, Greg Kading. He disagreed with some of the things that Suge said. He gave his own perspective on some things. Hey, I put it out there. You let these people talk, and then you agree or disagree, and you take from it what you believe you should. And today I have a guest that I got to tell you, I thought he was the most credible. Not the most credible out of everybody, but one of the most credible guests that I've sat down with or talked to about this whole Diddy matter. His name is Big Homie CC. He's a Chicago boy, born and raised, came from the street, and really has made a good way for himself. He's a big guy, Big Homie CC. He's got his own security company. He's a bit of an entrepreneur, and he's a bodyguard, mostly for females. He likes to be a bodyguard for females because he said they're easier to protect, and he takes his job very, very seriously. So he was at 3 events, 3 of Diddy's freak-offs. And so he has personal knowledge as to how these things were run, and he's going to tell you about it. And like I said, I believe he's very credible. I really do. I really analyze people. I listen to them. I watch the way they carry themselves and the way they talk. I was very impressed with this young man. He's not that young. He's younger than me. So anybody younger than me is a young man. But I was very impressed with the interview I had with him. As a matter of fact, so impressed that I talked to him, and you'll hear it in the interview, about possibly he and I getting together to try to do some good in the city of Chicago, where people are killing themselves every weekend. These young gangbangers, these young street kids are killing themselves every weekend. And it's gone on since the Obama administration. And I have personally contacted people in Chicago and said, listen, I'll come in and help. These gangbangers, they relate to me and they talk to me. Let's put something together and stop the violence in the streets. Nobody responds. They don't care. Obama, that's your home city, your hometown. You did nothing to your administration. And, and nobody has ever since. Trump, too, I got to say it, but, he was thinking about other things. I'm not saying it's okay, but maybe it's time that we get into that city and try to stop the violence. Innocent people getting killed every single weekend. So maybe Big Homie and I will get together and do something about that. I have a heart for these young kids. You'll hear about it. We talked about it. But again, I think his insight into Diddy and some of the things he says are going to be eye-opening. And I believe he's very credible. That's my personal opinion and perspective after speaking to him. So you take what you take out of it. But it's a very, very good interview. Listen closely to what he has to say. Listen how he analyzes some things. He talks about things, stuff that was put into drinks. And he just talks about a lot. I don't want to give it away. I want you to hear it from him. So without any further delay, here's my guest. A pleasure to have a sit down with him. Big Homie CC. I don't know if you know, recently I had Suge on the phone. And and he, he talked a lot about Diddy, what he knew. And some of it was controversial, some of it. But hey, you know what? When I sit down with somebody, they say what they say, and I respect that, and we take it from there. But you were involved somewhat with Diddy because you were a bodyguard to somebody that went to some of his parties, correct?
Yes, sir. How it happened.
And were you at a lot of these freak-offs, I guess we got to call them?
So here's the thing. I only been to 3 of his events. Now, when the first part of the event is a normal socializing mixer, upscale, the who's who is there, it's normal. But when you see the guy come out with the black suit and he's collecting everyone's cell phone and then inviting them to another party, which I say it's layers to it. They're inviting you to another part of the party where everybody cannot go.
Mm.
You see, so then that's when discrepancies start to take place because, my business is predicated on protecting women mostly because, you know how dudes are with a lot of money, they can straddle the fence. So once ladies in the industry know, he's got integrity, he can't be bald, stuff like that, you get booked a lot. So one instance, I was with a lady, she on the cover of the Gucci magazine. Beautiful lady, a real runway model. And oftentimes, you know, when you're doing close protection work for a model, but they barely get to eat it all.
Mm.
And when they do eat, like they'll get like the nutrients out of it. They'll
Right.
chew it great, but they won't swallow it.
They're trying to maintain, because they're trying to maintain their figure. Yeah.
So, you know, one glass of wine to that person, she's going to get drunk fast.
Right.
So, you know, my job, you got to monitor those things. And a situation took place where it was a couple of us, and it's 4 of us total, 3 ladies, the principal and her 2 buddies. They had they sipped something, and they started getting sick.
And this was the woman you were protecting. You were her.
So, you know, my antennas go up. You know, it led to a confrontation because I noticed that certain people knew what was going on. And the guy told me to relax, it's normal. No, this is not normal. Y'all don't know who y'all got here today. And, you know, it led to a confrontation. I ended up getting hit with a bottle, get stitches. You know, a couple of guys had to go to the hospital, stuff like that.
What was it, one of Diddy's bodyguards or one of his security people? Yeah.
Yeah, some people from this team.
Mm-hmm.
Big ideas don't come easy.
But you know, he's got a team. He's got a team of people. And
so now when you say that this next group of people, this layer of group, did they go to a different location or was it at the same location?
yes. So they ended up going upstairs.
Mm.
So and then, you know, because it's an open bar, first and foremost. Whatever drinks you want, usually the stuff he's contractually obligated to have normally. Any drug or narcotic you want is available. But you just start seeing groups of sex workers arrive, male, female, and you just start seeing people pairing off and start doing what they do. And, you know, if I'm in one of these events with a male and my principal is a man, you know, I'll go wait in the car, you know, because like, look, bro, I'm not here for the swinger party. You feel me? And then, you know, you don't want to be the straight guy in a party where everybody else is rainbow, because when they start hitting on you, now you're the jerk. You never want to be that guy. You got to be a gentleman at all times until it's time to give vicious if necessary. So I never directly was paid by him or worked for him. I ended up at some of his events due to my employment, and yeah, man. A lot of strange things take place for sure.
Let me ask you a question. If you can recall, what was the worst thing or the most off-color thing that you saw happen at any one of these events?
Okay. So now when it comes to his events, the most off-color thing I saw was 1 second he's in a suit, next second he's in a towel, and he's holding hands with 2 Eastern European gentlemen. And
when you say he, that's Diddy. You mean Diddy? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and he's holding hands with these little vampire-looking guys, like they off the movie Twilight. And you know, I knew, I said, all right, now I know what this is. I see what's going on here. You know, it's time for us to exit. You see what I'm saying? So by the grace of the good Lord, you know, I was able to remove myself and my principal from there. But, you know, there's been times where I've been with guys and they're staying. You know, I had a famous singer tell me one day that he prefers trans ladies because they have stronger hands and stronger jaw muscles.
Now, who told you that?
He's a singer. His name's Bobby Valentino.
Bobby Valentino. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so, you know, but we grew up, we never looked up to these type of people. We always looked up to the gangsters, bro. So, like, the gangster guys, my uncles and all of them, they would always say, man, be careful, man. That entertainment stuff is for sissies, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And, so it's all about perspective.
Well, let me ask you this. There's been some talk that he had some drinks that were laced with something.
Laced in drinks in the hip-hop, entertainment, fashion industry is a big thing.
And what do they lace it with?
Well, previously it was Ruthless. And then the onset of...
You got to forgive me, homie, but what is that? What is Ruthlin?
Ruthlin, you ever heard the term someone got roofied?
Oh, yeah, Ruthlin. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Ruthlin was like the majority, but, whenever you see guys doing a lot of cocaine, scopolamine is going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
And scopolamine, once you're dosed with scopolamine, a person can take you to the ATM machine. They can say, empty your ATM machine, empty your account. You're going to empty the account out, give away all your furniture. You have no control of yourself until it wears off. And it's usually permanent neurological problems that come from being dosed with scopolamine. So Ruthlin and scopolamine is something I was always leery of, for sure.
Do you know if that ever happened at a Diddy party?
So I will say this. There are a lot of people in my inbox who are on active indictments toward him who are alleging that this took place. So, recently he came under scrutiny because of liquid GHB. Now, liquid GHB in a very small amount can incapacitate you. Lowers your heart rate to the point where someone may think you're asleep or dead, but you're really not. So there are people in the indictment saying that, he squirted them with baby oil and they passed out.
And what do you, and in my thinking, the only reason you would want to do that is to take advantage of somebody, whether it be sexually or any other way.
Right. And what I've grown to understand is any man who does ecstasy for longer than 2 or 3 years, they start to become a sexual deviant. This guy Combs been doing ecstasy for 20 years. And now when he was arrested with a substance called Tusi, which is ketamine, ecstasy, cocaine mixed, and is dyed to be pink.
Yes.
So,
that's the
Jack,
pink cocaine that now everybody's talking about.
Right. He was arrested with this while being under federal indictment and being monitored. So that goes to show that there's definitely addiction involved, and it's definitely a drug aspect involved as well.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever hear of cyanide being mixed in any of these drinks?
Now, see, whenever people mention cyanide, I get uncomfortable because over a period of 6 years, I had pneumonia 3 times, right? So on the final time, my mom takes me to the hospital. They get a toxicology report done. I test positive for cyanide. The way cyanide metabolizes in the human body is after a certain amount of dosages, it turns into pneumonia. Kim Porter, his ex-wife, died from pneumonia.
I heard that.
His ex-bodyguard recently, a few months ago, just died from pneumonia. And when I first started speaking out about this, there were no podcasts. It's like 2013. There are no podcasts. Social media is really just starting to get ingrained in society. So people told me I was crazy, said I was a hater, but I work hand in hand with law enforcement in my career path, and they tested my car. My car handles tested positive. So, I don't think a person will use cyanide directly at a party, But cyanide is around. I tested positive for it. I got my toxicology report to this day. So.
And let me ask you, why would you put cyanide in somebody's drink? What kind of behavior would that cause you to, to be?
Yeah, so you feel like you got the flu. You feel sick. You want to isolate yourself from everyone. And your lungs, you coughing up mucus. Like,
mucus.
Throughout history,
You could also get that from sugar.
was a way people got away with murder.
White sugar.
Before the onset of better technology for testing for certain toxins and stuff like that. Because, cyanide used to be in rat poison. So, there's all type of cold case files. This person, she poisoned her husband over a series of weeks with rat poison. He died from pneumonia. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't invent or embellish. I'm only going to speak on things I can verify to be facts. And, I definitely tested positive for the cyanide and I had pneumonia 3 times. I basically got 1 lung now because of it.
Really? So, but this didn't occur at a party for you. I mean, you didn't take a drink at one of Diddy's parties and maybe the cyanide was in one of those drinks.
No, see, because, I have already been privy to certain things. So, it's this footage of me with a bottle of champagne in my hand that I brought with me while I'm with models and stuff like that. Because, it's a scary feeling, bro. Like when you can look at somebody and tell they've been compromised and you can't really explain why. So once me and my team had experienced roofing on our own, we said we can never let this happen again. So we invented some new protocols. If a bottle get brought to a section, if it's opened already, you gotta send it back. We would travel with a portable test kit with us. All type of, if people are paying you to protect their life, you got to use every tool that's available to you.
Well, again, without making any definite allegations or pointing fingers, it makes you think why, Kim Porter would have died of pneumonia when Diddy is putting everything else in drinks. I'm not saying he did it. We don't know that, but it raises eyebrows. You got to kind of think about it, Why did that happen? And she was relatively young, Kim. I mean, she was a young girl. It's not normal that you die of pneumonia at that age.
Just not normal. Just not normal. And some of the other substances that we mentioned, people will still start partying off of that. Cyanide touch you don't want to party.
Yeah.
So you almost get a feeling like, man, something's wrong here. But you're not gonna think that somebody's poisoning. You're not gonna think that, But it definitely happened to me. So, and like in the work that I do to combat human trafficking, I've had bounties on my life. I've had the FBI showing up telling me, yeah, we got information. By law they got to tell you.
Right.
Had those situations. So you just kind of get accustomed that what you signed up for. So you just try to take as many steps possible to mitigate risk and hope for the best. Be vigilant.
Well, let me ask you this. Suge was quite outspoken. He gave me names. He said that he mentioned Obama. He said Obama and Diddy were close friends. He even indicated they had a sexual relationship together. Obviously he spoke about Justin Bieber and Usher and all that. Is there anybody that that you feel you can talk about that was at these parties or affected by anything?
Well, so I am aware that Leonardo DiCaprio has he's having a lawsuit come up against the Busby lawyer because so right now what's happening is when they initially raided Combs' home, they did not inform the raiding officers whose home they were going to raid.
boy. It's the information for me.
I didn't know that.
Right.
The information
So that
and
right
the
there goes
similarities.
to.
What you say?
I said it's the information for me and the similarities. How these people are going through what they're going through, and it's like it seems like the FBI can't even do shit about it. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, nobody doing shit about it. Yeah.
The show, like, all right, now, this guy have a lot of reach. He could be somebody that's been corroborating previously. So once they got their hands on that footage, you know, there have been laws passed for revenge porn and stuff like that. You can't sell someone's tape without them approving it. So, you know, from my sources, some other close protection operatives, you know, there are a lot of A-list stars right now who are doing what they can to prevent certain footage from coming out. You know, one thing Suge Knight said that I can confirm to actually be facts, because I know this gentleman's part of his security team. Yeah, that they came to Ben Affleck and they said, the wife's on these tapes. So that's something I can confirm to be facts.
Jennifer Lopez.
For sure. I can confirm.
On the tapes,
Yeah,
meaning that you mean maybe videotapes, footage, whatever it is they confiscated there?
Yeah, because whenever I meet people like Combs, like they like to keep trophies. They like to keep memorabilia from these escapades. And, you know, this is something that's a lot more common than people think amongst elite parts of society. Because, like, you know, once a rich guy realizes that, wait a second, no one's going to tell me no. You know, depending on how you're raised and your moral compass and what you believe in, you know, I've seen a lot of guys get off the handle. And I've seen Combs scream, say, I'm a savage. If I want it, I'm going to have it. I don't accept no for an answer. That let me know what I need to know, because, you know, I've done security for certain guys, and, you know, you show up to their house unannounced and he's in a mascot outfit in the floor with somebody else in a big teddy bear outfit, and they dry him in the floor. They call themselves furries. You know, you'll see a millionaire guy. He gets off by having
Family Guy show that I was showing you.
So
that's what I was talking
you
about.
just never know what people are into.
Yeah,
This guy revealed what he's into.
When you say Leonardo DiCaprio, he's got a lawsuit against BuzzFeed because of something that they said with him regarding Diddy?
Yeah, so the guy Busby referenced that he had stills of a sexual encounter between Combs and an A-list celebrity with a much higher status than Combs. So it's... Yeah.
I got you. Let me ask you this.
And if you got stills, then you must have the video.
Heard something about Jamie Foxx possibly being involved with Diddy and on the wrong side of it. You know anything about that?
So, you know, bro, I seen Fox with Combs on several occasions at different events. Now, Jamie Foxx's family are the ones who reported Diddy to the FBI when Jamie Foxx went into the coma initially.
Really?
So that's how that all came about.
Already done, lovely.
His daughter Corinne and his mom were the ones who did that. And when people come and they ask Jamie on the street, he doesn't deny it. So, you know.
Oh, shit, I missed that.
At the end of his comedy special on Netflix, you know, at the live taping, he said out of his mouth that Combs is the person who poisoned them and put him in a coma. He said, I asked my partner for an Advil. He handed me the Advil. I woke up 22 days later.
Man.
Now, if you somebody knowing that, look, I got an indictment pending, I might start cleaning up my surroundings. You know how that go.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. What would be the purpose, and this I've heard many times, that Diddy had people sign NDAs when they came into the party, which if there was criminal activity going on, the NDA doesn't mean anything. And Diddy should have known that. But what do you think his purpose in that was? Just to try to get into people's head that you can't talk about this? Or?
Well, Michael, I'll tell you, non-disclosure agreements at celebrity who's parties is something that's taking place on a daily basis. Been taking place like that for years. Simply because I know for a fact that in Combs's NDA, you can't say anything about what you've seen or partook in at the party until 20 years after he's dead. And so,
Pause it.
20 years after.
So that's what Puff Daddy's NDA?
How do you get somebody to do a big favor for you?
That's what he
said.
So
wait, with signing an NDA, you have a contract, and it's a span of 5, 10, 20 years, maybe 15, I don't know. So within those years, you just say you can't say nothing.
What's them people called? Based in LA. You know them people.
What?
Scientology. Their contract. Yeah, I heard Tiffany Haddish say their contract is for 5,000 years or some shit like that.
Yeah, those are major. I know of this major one. Well, this one where in a city where I used to live at, and we used to go through this little windy road. But California got a lot of mountains, but it's a Scientology area to where you're passing it. And back in the days, they said it was very racist. It was racist back, And I believe it too, because when you look at it now, matter of fact, is it Tom Cruise? Is this one lady who spoke on this particular Scientology's buildings that I'm talking about, the same one? And I'm like, wow, that's deep. That's deep.
He one of them.
That's deep. But my cousin had went to.
He actually friends with the guy.
My cousin went to a Jamie Foxx Halloween party last year at his house, and she had to sign an NDA. She said, "Now I haven't spoken to her in a while, but when I seen this particular video that she did, she stated in the video that she had to sign an NDA. So I wonder how long is her NDA for, and does she have a copy of it? I need to get in contact with her and ask her about that. Just to be nosy a little bit.
They give you a copy of the NDA?
That's what I want to know. I want to know if she has a copy of it.
NDA.
Because it's like anything else, you need a copyright for your records.
I didn't get a copy when I was writing for the news.
No.
And we had to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I took a picture of it though. I was wanting to take a picture of that shit, but after I gave it to them, they didn't give me no copy.
That is wow. That's deep. All right, come on, let's go. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
Invite them over, show them a time of their life. You got them on camera doing something they're not supposed to do.
Right.
You put that call in for that favor. Hey, buddy, remember that day I really need to get this person right here signed to this person. Or I really need to get this person to stop speaking on that radio channel about me negatively. That's how it happened.
Let me ask you, one of the questions I had is how does this go on for 20 some odd years? And the reason I say that, maybe there's a little, I don't want to say resentment, that's not the right word, but in my former life, the FBI was on us 24/7. We were I was indicted 7 times. I was arrested 18 times. I went to trial 5 times. I had 2 federal racketeering cases, 1 state. They were on me constantly. And look, I was a criminal. I was doing what I was doing, but I wasn't doing these kind of parties or anything like that. What I'm saying is, how does this go unnoticed or unbothered, I would say, for 20 years? So my first reaction is, this guy must be an informant. He must be doing something with the government. This is my thought. I have nothing to back that up. until Suge said to me that Diddy's been an informant for years.
Right, right.
What's your thought on that?
Okay, so my thoughts on this is this. In your situation, you were making millions. And they couldn't really prove that you was doing it illegally. Right. So they were out to prove that you were doing it illegally.
You're exactly right.
With Combs, they know how he's making his millions. So it's like, okay, we're not going to be able to go after him for taxes. We're not going to be able to go after him for operating a criminal syndicate that's doing racketeering as the source of income. And then you're operating in a network of people where, you know, he was the middleman. He's the party guy for the guys who really got the money. Because none of these problems started for him until he went after the liquor company that was that owned Ciroc. We all thought he was part owner of Ciroc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The moment he won that lawsuit, shortly after that, he sold Revolt TV. Revolt TV was his baby. It's his own network. He worked hard on that. So when I saw he sold that to his buddy, I'm like, all right now. Word just came down. They coming after him. Because you got those big corporations, you know, you got 5 or 6, you probably got 2 billionaires, a couple hundred millionaires on the board of directors. On Combs' board of directors, it's just him. Nobody on his board of directors is going to be a real affluence to the point where, you know, they can really go and donate to a presidential campaign or something like that. So, you know, Combs felt like he was bigger than the program. And once he demonstrated certain activities, you know, it led to his demise because, you know, the human trafficking division in the United States is a small group.
Yeah.
Say it again.
So that's why after Combs went down, you seen the guy Reeves from Abercrombie. You see what happened.
Nah, he said, what did he say? Something about
take it back. Rewind it back a little
control. Bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, down in you know, the human trafficking division in the United States is a small group.
Yeah.
So that's why after Combs went down, you seen the guy Reeves from Abercrombie. You see what happens down in by Disneyland. They working hand in hand with other groups of law enforcement to combat this. You know, it's $11 billion a year.
Yeah.
You know, people want to blame the majority of it on the 5% of celebrity culture. It's not. That's not the majority that's making the purchases. You know, you can sell a kilo one time. You can sell a kid 100 times. So, you know, once they was able to see that he violated interstate commerce laws by flying underage people on planes for sex and stuff like that, that's what led to his demise. And then once he was off the street, people feel safe now. He's a dangerous person. He's not a pushover. His name's associated with murders, various assaults, explosives in someone's vehicle. Feds say they got him actively while under indictment, calling witnesses, trying to get them to change their story. They told him, you can stay on the street as long as you're not calling witnesses and your private jet is in 2 different states.
My bad. What I wanted to say is he said Diddy's the only or the top person as a board of directors. That was the same at the Stone Company that I work for. That director, he's pretty much the owner because the company was given to him. So he doesn't have nobody to answer to. You see it? So my ex-boss, who I used to work for.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty much corrupt. I ain't gonna get into it here.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's real wild.
this one black man, right? Diddy, that no one seems to be able to control, or he's the promoter, he's the party guy. He bring
Yeah.
everybody to the party for these top people, right?
Yeah.
That goes to show you that money talks, because as many as well over maybe what, if I could say 100,000 black men who probably getting arrested on a daily, that's doing
Mm-hmm.
petty crimes or whatever case and getting arrested, and Diddy doing all this
Or
shit,
nothing at all.
or nothing at
Right.
all, or nothing at all, and they're getting arrested. Poverty. They target people. What was I watching? We gotta.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share this video. Matter of fact, I'll share it to my community wall. But it was basically like a group of
Homeless
people,
man.
like cops and stuff, basically telling you how they gotta have their quarters, how they gotta run their quarters at the end of each month or the beginning of each
Oh,
month.
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's why they do their traffic tickets, and they're on your ass at the end of the month and the beginning of the month, so they
Right.
can meet their quotas. Yeah. So keep a watch out when you're driving out there.
This guy standing on the street with a sucker.
Yeah.
And a group of young girls, they're excited to see him. They picked him up. They picked him up immediately.
I mean, you think he's going to stand up in all of this? Or you think he's going to cooperate? You think he's going to give up some of these big names? Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this, homie. I was in the exact same prison on the same, it should be a jail rather. I was in the jail where Epstein was. I was on that tier. I was in those cells. There's no way in my mind that you're going to commit suicide. No way. You can't do it. They're watching that tier all the time. The cameras are on. For everything to go off at one time, it would still be hard for him to commit suicide because there's nothing there. There's nothing on the ceiling. The bed is this high. You couldn't do it. So my point is, I think they got rid of Epstein. I'll swear to that. I don't know what's going to happen with Diddy.
It's listed in the Epstein investigation that on the day that he died, the cameras were not working on that tier.
Right.
You know what that means.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel like the average American understands how cheap the price of life is now. Combs, they said that 1,000 bottles of baby oil, allegedly some of the bottles tested positive for liquid GHB. So if we do the math on that, 1,000 bottles, 8 ounces, what's that, 54 pounds of GHB?
Mm-hmm.
Mandatory life sentence.
Right.
Pounds.
$58 million bail package denied.
Mm-hmm.
All of the prosecutors on that case are women. We also seen the mayor, Eric, get indicted.
Right.
FBI was trying to save face before the election to not get this. They did what they did, racked up some big cases, locked some people up. Combs is going to have to give up people if he ever wants to see light of day again. He's facing several life sentences. And he don't have murders he can give up. But if he does, he will. So January 20 was a trial start May 25th?
Yeah.
We're going to see some interesting things start to take place before then. Do you see they come in, season his notes? He get a little win in court. They got to destroy the notes they took.
Yeah.
He wants to change his jail because he knows he can get Epstein in there.
Yeah. My thinking is he either disappears, meaning some kind of accidental death, number one. Number two, he cooperates and gives up somebody that law enforcement might think is more important than him. Or
Hey everybody, welcome and thank you all for being here. Thank you, Leah, for even trying to post. But I think you don't need to be a mod in order to post the links. You could, if you probably just do it regular, try to refresh. No,
you can't post the links. Yeah, not unless you're a mod, or it won't show.
What?
Yeah.
What? It should be able to. That's weird, though. Okay,
I
so
tried it in other folks' chat.
That's interesting. Let me see. Yeah. Well, if anything, let me see if I could do something.
Or she could send it to you in your DMs, and you can post it or something like that, or email or something.
Okay, you can go ahead. I'll figure it out for her.
All right, check your DMs too, because I just sent you one.
Okay.
All right. Go to jail forever. I mean, it's going to be. I don't see him standing up. Let's put it this way.
I don't see that. I don't see that either, because why would you, as a billionaire, need automatic rifles with defaced serial numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you need that? You're doing things you're not supposed to be doing. And I feel like there is another criminal drug dealing element that they're working on, because when they first stopped this plane, they arrested his mule. And then when they arrest you again, you still got drugs on you. Yeah. You operate, that's operating like somebody who's been cooperating.
Yeah. So Suge saying that he's been cooperating is not too far off in your opinion.
Not too far off at all. Not too far off at all, because Keefe D is in the Las Vegas, is in Clark County right now, and he's saying Diddy the one paid us to kill Tupac.
Really? Yeah, he did say that, yeah.
Saying that, allegedly the feds have a list of people that he's responsible for their demise.
Mm-hmm.
They also said they have him on camera at his residence assaulting a male sex worker. How out of control are you? You paid this person to come here to have sex. You got to.
Yeah.
I know a dude, bro, personally, who he said he's out to eat with Combs, his sons, and some other people. And the topic came up, how much money would it cost for you to suck a penis?
What?
He said, man, I need at least
What's good,
100,000.
Sassy?
He said to me, he said, Combs said 100,000.
What?
Right now.
You mean 100 million?
He said, man, I was
That's
just
still
playing.
fucking no.
He said Combs wasn't
No
playing.
go.
Guy's a deviant without a doubt.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. As much as I've seen and been through in my life and witnessed, I don't understand how somebody gets this crazy and out of control.
I'm telling you, it's the ecstasy.
Gotta be.
Brother, I promise you. I distinctly remember what the streets of Chicago were like before everyone was taking ecstasy on the weekend. Then it went to now people are using this as a daily habit. Guys I thought were upstanding was getting caught with trans people. I seen this firsthand. I remember what the streets was like.
All right, Free Will.
Before the internet. I remember before the pills became a thing. It definitely played a role for sure.
Free Will.
And and I always say this, like a man who's not raised with like some sort of gangster principles, only thing he really has to believe in is his wants and needs. Being in your position, being in my position, when you want to form a leadership, there's certain things you can't do. Because, they call me Big Homie. You gotta earn that. So, you know, I can't be doing the same thing the little homies is doing.
Right.
When they in the living room talking to the females, I'm in the room with the door closed, because then now the lines get blurred now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of us or are you our leader?
I'm completely shocked after watching this interview to see a scientist finally explain the human.
Listen, I'm completely shocked too after watching this interview.
That's why when you see Combs, the people that's coming after him was always, everyone's younger than him. There's nobody older than him. The people who could have really combated him have died under strange circumstances. You know, this is the only industry we see where people have interns. They'll come work for years for free for the thought of having a big career.
That shit's crazy.
You can't. You're not gonna be an intern at Walmart.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about taking advantage of people. That's why I've been going back and forth with these people for years.
Let me ask you, change your gears a little bit. R. Kelly, you grew up with him, right?
Grew up around him for sure.
Yeah. What kind of guy? He's got his hands full now, for sure.
Now listen. I swear on my mother, I never liked this dude. The people in my family, at my church, they would say, "Why are they bringing this pal in?" They were saying this years ago. You know, I know dudes who took their daughter to him for voice lessons. He go pick his daughter up. He got $50,000 cash with him now. That's the thing, bro. Like, these people all were getting enabled in different areas.
Thank you.
You know, like, in my family, people knew. When they come to my little cousins, my aunties, and them, like, man, like, it's gonna be heinous consequences for you if you decide that you want to try to oppress any of these people right here. These guys, they hiring security, they feel invincible. You know, just like I know that in certain organizations, there are rules. And I heard you say something before that you say, they'll never get me in a room again. These guys don't have that. Nobody can call them into a room.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be graveyard consequences. They don't have that.
Yeah.
Now operate underneath that, and they got unlimited money, and everybody want to be a celebrity.
Yeah, the problem, homie, they're not accountable to anybody but themselves. And
that's a big problem.
And accountability, as you know, is very important in life. You have to have accountability, whether it be to your faith, your boss, yourself. Right. Without it, there's no rules, and eventually you're going to go down. Yep. You're going to get in trouble for it, and that's what happened. I think Diddy the same thing. He was accountable to nobody. At least he thought he was.
Something to fall for anything.
It catches up with you.
Until it's just too late.
Yeah.
And you know, Dapper.
Hi.
Auntie Leah, it's been a long time since I've been on this StreamYard. I'm not really for sure if the links are being held for a review. I'm not really sure. I will have to go to my YouTube and see all that, because I have no mods. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about why the links are not. I don't know. I'm
or
confused.
Maybe try it without the www dot.
Okay, so let me go to somebody. Let me see if I could just randomly post somebody links on somebody, because I don't know why.
You should be able to.
Okay. I'm about to go to somebody live randomly. They're gonna be like, who the hell link is this she's posting? Listen, I'm trying to see something. All right, cool. Hold up.
Trial and error.
Okay, so okay, so I see what you mean. It's not highlighting. It's not underlining itself to click on it. Okay, well, maybe You do have to be a mod. I never noticed that. Thank you for pointing that out too. But if anything, let me see. Let me see. All right, while we watching this video, I am going to work on that. But thank you again for everybody who was here chilling with us. Yeah, it's been a fun day. Cool little laid back day. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
All right.
And I gotta decide if I want mods or not. I don't think I'm ready for mods. Yeah, I think I can handle my chat right now on my own. Cause listen, I know how this shit go. And I'd be damn if the troll come up in here. Cause I'm ready.
Stay ready.
Ready. And I already know how it goes. So yeah.
For real. Anthony will be a good mod though.
Yeah, I know. I see. Listen, I'm already saying who I know will be a good mod. Like I'm seeing them in the, I'm seeing them because I see y'all. Trust and believe, I see y'all. All right, but let's get back to the video.
Dan said that he grew up with Combs' parents. And he said what's going on with Combs didn't start with Combs, it started with his parents. So that's what Dapper Dan said. So
see, hold on.
Gotta keep all these things in mind, man.
I'm just
I never harmed nobody who didn't deserve it.
I'm just gonna get y'all just a little bit real quick. See, one thing about Ayasha Lachey Bay is I bring the trolls to the yard. I played with trolls when I was little, so I don't mind playing with them still. I'm just like, I will allow the troll up on the panel so they could expose themselves. Okay? That's me.
Do that.
Listen. Come on, you want to hit the link? Hit the link. And see how bold you are. Hit the link.
You put the link in?
Nah, I'm just saying. That's me. But right now we ain't got time for them. We on our education shit right now. We on our conspiracy theories shit right now. On our truth telling, our
truth gathering. Right. You took that from my brain.
We gathering right now. We not listen. All right, well let's go.
All right.
I stand by that. People coming out saying that he ruined their life. As men, we can choose our actions, but we cannot choose our consequences.
So right. But you got very interesting background. I think we both do, different ways, but very, very interesting. I understand you knew about me before this call.
Yes, for sure. So, growing up in the inner city of Chicago, Italian culture, Sicilian culture, those type of things are very prevalent in the city.
Yes.
And especially from the omerta aspect of, operating in the underworld of sorts. A lot of Chicago Black street organizations mimicked and modeled themselves based off what they seen you guys doing, mostly on a theatrical standpoint, though.
In other words, you were influenced by some of the movies about our life and some of the characters that you might have bumped into or seen on the street in Chicago. Because Chicago is one of my favorite cities. Have a lot of friends there, and obviously we had a big presence in Chicago, as you well know.
For sure, and I've had some interactions with some actual figures from that lifestyle. So, in my community, bro, like a lot of things we did, we considered it mob style, mafioso type of activity. So, definitely honored to be here. Thanks to my boy Reese for locking this in. And I did my 10,000 hours of research for sure.
Well, homie, let me ask you this, because this is something that's been bugging me for a while with Chicago. All of this stuff that's going on there, all this gang warfare, it's disappointing and frustrating to me that nobody has gone in there and tried to clean it up. When I say clean it up, a lot of stuff, you know, with these young guys in the street, they're just uninformed, uneducated, and nobody's paying attention to it, and people are dying, you know, on a weekly basis there. What do you think? And, you know, having come from there and some experience there, how do you think we help those young men? We help clean that up, so to speak, so people are not dying every weekend?
Very, very profound question. So here's the thing. There used to be leadership and infrastructure with all street gangs in Chicago. There was a time, and I remember, when you needed permission if you were going to go shoot somebody. You needed permission. Like if you wanted to commit a murder, it had to be sanctioned. People had to approve of such. So throughout the process where law enforcement had this war on drugs, a lot of the infrastructure and leadership was removed. So it just left madness. So then when certain gentrification took place, project housing was torn down, then they moved those families into the south suburbs. So now you got people operating on a certain mentality getting moved throughout the city, which just led to nonsense and madness because it's blood feuds. You know, and in Chicago, people believe in eye for eye.
Mm-hmm.
If every time you see an ad, you just wanna, you need to download Pi. It's a free Chrome extension that blocks ads on all your favorite sites.
You know, in a lot of other cities, like I don't care what your
My bad,
race or
y'all. I ain't
nationality
got
is.
premium.
If you are born and raised in Chicago, you know, you're gonna have a little bit more proficiency to get violent with somebody if disrespect does occur and stuff like that. So the lack of leadership, you definitely should be able to send people in to try to mediate these blood feuds. They do it in Europe all the time.
And why do you think that nobody's tried to do that? You know, a while ago, I think about a year and a half ago, I sent a message to some people at Black Lives Matter. And I said, listen, young people are getting killed there every weekend, you know, innocent people too, in these drive-bys or whatever. I said, I'm willing to go in. I have some influence. I've spoken to a lot of these gangbangers. They happen to listen, you know, they pay attention, at least when I'm talking to them. But obviously then you have to follow up and help these guys. You can't just talk to them once and run out of there. What would you say would be a way to try to get to these kids and get this stuff? And I call them kids. I know young men is maybe what I should say, and get to them and make them stop. You know, how would you attack or approach that?
So, you know, it's gonna take the faces of the culture in order to even make an attempt or make a dent in what's going on. So, you know, you're right. You know, most of them are kids. You know, you got guys committing murder before they have sex. You got guys getting life sentences as virgins. So, you know, in Chicago, the reverence that comes with your reputation, if you're known to be a killer, people are choosing that over being someone who gets a lot of money, because it's a lot harder these days to make money out the street. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I was born into certain affiliations, and, you know, I've got a certain reach. So, you know, I got programs that I sponsor to try to help at-risk youth and stuff like that. So we definitely can set it up where people from your crowd, my crowd, we can get together and we can go into neighborhoods and directly negotiate for peace. It can be done. I've partaken in it, but it's gonna take people like yourself. It's gonna take people like myself. But like you just said, they'll listen, but they're gonna listen to people who they feel like is of cloth like they are. Because 90% of what's going on, bro, is based off mafia movies and books. Guarantee that. So like the fact I'm able to speak to you in this dialogue, this gonna be interesting today for sure.
Well, let me tell you, I'll just put this out there, and I mean it, because I've been speaking to these youngsters now for God, ever since I was in prison, back in the 80s and 90s. And I really have a heart for them. If there's any way that you feel that we can put something together, that I can contribute in some way, I'd be willing to do that, because this is going on for years. I mean, every weekend, and it's like it's being ignored. And nobody wants to get to the root issues and say, well, how do we get these kids out of this mess that they're in?
Yeah.
When was this uploaded? Look, this is my first time seeing this actually full. And to me, I'm guessing, is this why he got thrown in that lawsuit? Because he want to do something, People like him and people like him, when they want to create a change in the world, some shit always going down.
Right.
They don't want this. Yeah. They don't want this. They don't want the connection. They don't want to see us doing better, us doing good.
Word.
They want to keep the drama. They want to keep the lies. They want to keep the misinformation, the division, they want to keep all that going. So
propaganda.
Man, let me go get my book. Hold up real quick.
All right. We almost finished.
Yep, almost. We're almost at our peak because I got to tend to the children. But say what you say. Say it again. Say it again.
Propaganda.
That what? Listen. Everything we do is a propaganda, okay? It's a prop. It's a prop. Sit up prop. Don't they tell you to sit up?
Yeah.
It's a prop. Hey, it's deep. It's very deep. But okay, we're almost done here.
Come on, man.
Open. People have to stay. There's got to be a stop to this kind of stuff. Innocent people are getting hurt. And I got to tell you this, again, I go back to my mom days. Yeah, we did a lot of damage to each other's at times. We had wars, 3 wars in the Colombo family through my lifetime. But it was internal stuff that we agreed to do. It doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not justifying it. But we didn't go after and target innocent people. Now, whether you believe that or not is up to you. We didn't do that. Did it happen on occasion? Yes. But this is not what we tried to do on a daily basis. This wasn't the basis of our existence. It wasn't. But when you get a guy, if these allegations about Diddy are true, I mean, come on. Come on. This is bad stuff. It's really bad stuff. And people need to be held accountable for this. And if we have some big names out there that were involved in this and that are now trying to cover it up, I hope it comes out in the open. I really does. And I hope it stops. Because some of these undercurrent things that are going on in Hollywood are just not good. So take this for what you feel it's worth. I think, again, it was very credible. I think it was a great guest. We'll do something possibly again in the future, hopefully helping out the people in the city of Chicago. Maybe we can start a platform to do something there. We'll talk about it. We're going to meet. He lives in Vegas. I'm here in Southern California. I got business in Vegas, so we'll see what happens. That's it for today, my friends. How do I always leave you? Same way. Not going to change. Be safe. Be healthy. God bless you, your families, your loved one, your community, your neighborhood. God bless America. Yes. I'll see you next time. Take care.
You muted. I'm muted. All right.
I say yes because America needs to be blessed, not blessed, blessed. Okay?
That's for sure.
Oh, my God. You know what? It was fun being here today. It was very fun being here today. And I appreciate your company. I appreciate your encouragement because if you hadn't asked me, I would have been like, listen, I got to do what I got to do around here.
Yeah.
But thank you for this.
I hear you. Yeah, this was a good time.
It was. And I thank all 29 of you for being here. And to the replay game, I appreciate you more because I make this live happen. I made this live happen with Jay Mizak himself. Y'all make sure y'all like this video.
Subscribe.
Turn on all your notifications and comment. Leave some comments down up in that comment box. Let me hear your thoughts. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow, you try to do around 2. Well, yeah, we gotta do around 2. The comedy,
We didn't finish. We didn't finish the comedy.
Okay, well, we can finish that. All right, that'll be cool. Yes, I will. I will. Am I saying that right? Am I saying that right? How do you say her name?
I know, right? I thought it was Yomi, but you're right. It's a J. Yomji. Yomji.
Yeah.
Yomji. See those lifesavers right there.
Kimchi. Right, them berries. Yeah. But wait, does it have gelatin in that? Oh, you got THC. Gosh.
Gelatin? Nah. You want to see the nutrition fact?
Good.
No gelatin in that.
I'm so happy that you caught alive too, Simple Family.
Who's that?
Okay.
Word.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody up in here.
All right. Well, we gonna leave it out with a little tune of Jaguars. Okay. And I hope you guys
got this one too,
enjoy.
Still. Before we go,
I hope you guys enjoy the sound.
Oh shit.
Let me check.
It's real smooth. Peace. Have a good night. Salute.